Once again, a very good morning to everyone and a happy World Veterinary Day to all the veterinarians present here. I take this privilege to welcome all the speakers, faculty, and students who are here to participate in the international webinar being organized on the occasion of World Veterinary Day 2023. The best doctor in the world is a veterinarian. He can't ask his patients what's the matter. He has just got to know. What a meaningful quote by Will Rogers. Veterinarians play a crucial role not only in animal and public health, but also in the environmental protection and sustainability. To commemorate all the veterinarians who work untiringly to promote animal health and welfare, every year we celebrate the last Saturday of April as World Veterinary Day globally. On behalf of Alumni Association, in collaboration with N.T.R. College of Veterinary Science, Gannavaram, under the aegis of Sri Venkateswara Veterinary University, Tirupati, I welcome you all once again to this international webinar. On this occasion, I'm happy to inform that our own alumni from diversified fields are the resource persons of today's webinar. Apart from the main talks, we also received wishes from eminent scientists and veterinary practitioners, which will be played as video bites in between the talks. Indeed, our Associate Dean, Dr. B. Sridevi, has to attend this webinar personally, but as she is honored with Best Lady Veterinarian Award at the national level, sponsored by C.K. Rao Endowment Trust, inevitably she has to attend the program. Hence, she has sent her messages through a video message. Please play the video, Dr. Tomar.
Welcome all the participants and resource persons for the international webinar which is being conducted on the eve of World Veterinary Day 2023, and I congratulate the organizing team for selecting some important topics of veterinary science for the discussion in the webinar, and I wish that the webinar is going to be a more interactive session and enrich your knowledge. And I thank the Alumni Association, N.T.R. College of Veterinary Science, Gannavaram, for taking up this initiative, and I thank all the speakers for accepting our invitation. Thank you all.
Now we have a presentation on the theme of the present World Veterinary Day given by Dr. P.V.Sc. sir. Again, this is also a video message because sir is also attending the program to receive the Best World Veterinary Day Award, C.K. Rao Endowment Trust Award.
Good morning and a warm welcome to everyone on this World Veterinary Day 2023. I am happy to be part of this international webinar being conducted by the Alumni Association of this College of Veterinary Science, Gannavaram. As the founder faculty of this college, I feel it a privilege to present the theme of World Veterinary Day 2023. Our apex organization at the global level is the World Veterinary Association. And during the term of Jim Edwards as the president of World Veterinary Association, he has envisaged the concept of celebrating the World Veterinary Day in the year 2000. And that being celebrated annually on the last Saturday of April, with the idea that The great works of veterinary profession, which were largely unappreciated till that of time, should be highlighted to everyone in the society, because the contributions of vets are infinite. There were themes since the start from 2000 till 2018. But since 2019, the World Veterinary Association started partnering with a global animal health industry association called Health for Animals. And it initiated the World Veterinary Day Award to honor the member of World Veterinary Association who celebrates the activities on the World Veterinary Day pertaining to the theme of that year. Now, what is it that has to be done on the last Saturday in April annual? The vets have to publicly display their knowledge, projecting their skills through conducting seminars or workshops or public lectures, social media campaigns, and any other things which they deem fit, with the idea that the contributions of the professionals as well as the great veterinary profession are known to everyone in the society, because the veterinary professions have global responsibilities, and there need to be cooperation and leadership and linkage between World Veterinary Association members and the members of different countries. There are multifarious contributions by the veterinarians across the globe, and this has to be shown to the general public, media, legislators, and officials. We know that we contribute not only to animal health, but also to public health. We have heard of many instances of stray dog menace and the entry of wild animals into the human inhabitations. And all these are focusing towards the human well-being, because the vital role that vets play is not only in carrying out the professional activities, but we also see their role in the army, police forces of different types. We see the dog squads, we see the equine and camel patrolling squads. They do yeoman service to the nations and to the society. We also see that vets are involved in food inspection and safety measures, particularly with respect to controlling the zoonotic diseases. This is the logo of our World Veterinary Day. As I have already said, the World Veterinary Day has a theme for each year. There were themes till 2018, and I'll be presenting you a few of the latest themes. In 2019, we had the theme value of vaccination. Knowledge, projecting their skills through conducting seminars or workshops or public lectures, social media campaigns, and any other things which they deem fit, with the idea that the contributions of the professionals as well as the great veterinary profession are known to everyone in the society, because the veterinary professions have global responsibilities, and there need to be cooperation and leadership French government released a gold coin with his image, and many countries released postal stamps. The Coombs test, we all know, that was developed by the British vet Robin Coombs, who was the fellow in Royal College of Pathologists and Physicians. He developed the test for detecting the antibodies in various clinical conditions like RH disease. We have Dr. James Thompson, another Wisconsin veterinarian who worked on the stem cells in 1998. And he was the first to see that he could stop the stem cells from differentiating and he could make them reproduce indefinitely. And this paved the way for many other scientists working on stem cells to make breakthroughs. Another renowned scientist, I think we have all faced through the COVID-19 crisis few years back, and we all know about Moderna, the COVID-19 vaccine. And we should be proud of that. Dr. Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer and BioNTech, was largely responsible for the development of this Moderna. He is a Greek American vet. Coming to a new area which I would like to focus is that veterinarians have gone into space. We have vet astronomers. The first of them is Dr. Martin Joseph Fetman, an astronaut from Colombia. And he is a pathology professor credited with more than 100 research articles. And he was the one who had the fourth longest mission of that time. We also have another veterinarian who was an astronaut credited with 3 space flights and 3 spacewalks during the years 1996 and 2002. And he was an army vet. We are indeed great to proclaim that we have 2 vets who have been astronauts. There were and there are a number of veterinarians who had been politicians, and I'd focus on few of them who were premiers of countries. We have Simon Fraser Tolney, and he was the first premier of the province of British Columbia. He is a veterinarian who turned out to be a politician and reigns to this level. We have Sir Dauda Kairaba Jawara, a Gambian vet, one of the Africa's smallest republic, Gambia. And he was the country's first vet. He became the first prime minister of the country, and he also became the first president of a country in the world. We have Sonny, an American who became the governor of the state of Georgia, not once, but twice. And after his retirement, became the secretary of USDA also. We have Ali Muhammad Hedi, a vet from Somalia, who was the second vet to become the prime minister of a country. We have in our own country, India, Mohan Bhagavat, who is the chief of Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha, the world's largest organization currently active in 156 countries. It was founded in Kenya in 1940, and Mohan Bhagavat, a Nagpur vet, is the chief of RSS. We have Sanjeev Balian, a veterinary anatomist, a doctorate, a Haryana vet, who is the current Union Minister of State in the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy, Government of India. Coming to another diverse field where veterinarians have entered and excelled is in the area of sports. You see here John Taylor, the US athlete. He is the first vet to win Olympic gold medal in London, that is the 4th Olympic Games, in the 4x400 meters sprint relay. He was a DVM way back in 1998, and he was the African American vet. You see Jolton Magyar, a Hungarian vet, credited with 10 gold medals. And she was winning those in gymnastics, mostly on the pommel horse, the event that you are seeing in the visual. And he also excelled in European championships, and he was credited with the best Hungarian sportsperson of the year award thrice. And even after retirement, continued the practice as veterinarian in Budapest. You have Susanne Moro, whom you can see in the picture, and she is the lady vet from Canada who was a figure skater and won gold medals in 1948 Winter Olympic Games and also in the World Figure Skating Championships. Not only was she a medalist, she was also a judge for 15 years. And she was the first woman to take the judge's oath at Olympics. And she's also credited with the death spiral. Along with Wallace Distelmeyer, pairing with him, she was the first pair to perform the death spiral, an event in figure skating. You have Kimberly Road, again a great Olympian, a 6-time Olympian in shooting, and she was the first American athlete, male or female, to win an Olympic medal, that too 6 times at 6 consecutive games in an individual sport. In the field of literature also, we had some vets who have excelled. I think most of us will be knowing about James Herriot, and some of us would have read his books also. He's a Scottish veterinarian born in 1916, and a few of his books are All Creatures Great and Small, All Things Bright and Beautiful, All Things Wise and Wonderful, and Every Living Thing. You also have Louis Camuti, basically a cat practitioner who wrote 2 books, and a memorial fund in Cornell University was made on his name. You have Baxter Black, a cowboy vet, a poet, a large animal practitioner, and he is credited with giving his voice on the National Public Radio of America. In the field of television also, some of the vets have excelled. Harry Cooper in Australia was a great TV personality who hosted a TV series called Burke's Backyard, and he hosted 2 shows. Luke Gamble was hosting the Sky documentary series in England, named The Worldwide Vet, and later renamed as Vet Adventures. He was the CEO of Worldwide Veterinary Services for a decade and was awarded the James Herriot Award by the British Small Animal Veterinary Association. He was also a black belt in karate. Another vet, a lady who excelled in this field, is Emma Melling, a British vet. She was initially rejected admission in 5 vet schools, but with perseverance, she completed a veterinary degree, and later in the field of television, she was a BBC TV show presenter, and it was the show entitled Vets in Practice. And she also floated a website called Emma the TV. In our country, by seeing this visual, you can identify that it is Nitish Bharadwaj, our Maharashtra vet from Mumbai Veterinary College, who played the role of Krishna in the Mahabharata television series, which was popular global. In the field of music, there was a veterinarian who floated the California Bluegrass Band. He is Elmo Shropshire. In 1979, he produced his original album and music video, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, and he was very popular globally. Even in the field of beauty, we have Debbie Turner, who became Miss America in 1990, and she did the talk show, Show Me St. Louis, in 1990. And she is also credited with making a show with the President and First Lady of America, Mr. and Mrs. Bush. She could take an interview at the White House for a Pet Planet segment from them. In the field of IT, information technology, we have Paul Pior, basically being a veterinary cardiologist and finding out the connection between amino acid taurine and hypertrophic cardiac myopathy in cats. He was the founder of the Veterinary Information Network. And coming to our own country, we see that there were veterinarians who received the 4th highest civilian award of Government of India, the Padma Shri. And we should be happy that veterinarians, all 4 of them professors of veterinary science in different disciplines, have received these civilian awards. First to receive the Padma Shri in 2020 was Professor Kushal Konwar Sharma, the veterinary surgery professor from Assam, known mostly as the Elephant Doctor of India, who tamed 239 wild jumbos that entered into human habitations. In 2022, again, Professor Sosama IP, a veterinary genetics professor of Kerala, was awarded the Padma Shri for conservation of the small dwarf cow you are seeing in the visual, Vechu. Initially, she faced allegations of gene robbery and biopiracy for the work that she was doing. But later, the government of India absolved her from all these allegations and she was presented Padma Shri in 2022. In the same year, we have Professor Motilal Madan, ML Madan, known as the clone maker of animals. He worked mostly in N.T.R. Karnal and held major administrative positions at Government of India level. And he is the person who worked on embryo transfer technology and in vitro fertilization and cloning. So he is also the recipient of Padma Shri in 2022. And in this year also, we had a veterinarian, Professor Mahendra Pal from N.T.R. Karnal, known as the father of veterinary mycology in India. He was a public health specialist, a veterinarian, and he was also a specialist in veterinary microbiology. And he received the Padma Shri this year. And after his retirement, he started an organization, Narayan Consultancy, and it gives free technical advice to the society. So we see the versatility of vets in this noble profession of veterinary science. And it is not just these vets have served the veterinary profession, but they have excelled in wide array of other areas, ranging from television, being renowned scientists, being sports persons, and being Nobel laureates, and being highest civilian awardees. And sky is not the limit, space is the limit, and space may not be also the limit for the veterinarians if they excel. I have presented on this occasion of the World Veterinary Day a few of the outstanding veterinarians, but there are many more. We are ahead of many others. We are ahead of many professions. And we should be proud of all that. And I hope that many veterinarians, budding veterinarians, will take this as an inspiration to see that you can also excel. You can also, in the years to come, make a mark for yourself. I congratulate on this occasion the Alumni Association, the alumni members, and the current students of the college for having envisaged this concept of conducting this international webinar on the occasion of World Veterinary Day. And I congratulate the organizing team for making this international webinar with the involvement of 5 good alumni from this college, as seen from the flyer of this World Veterinary Day celebrations. And I hope that you will benefit from the coming 5 speakers. They will share their expertise in their areas. And I wish all of you, the alumni and the current students, a bright future in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kishore sir, for enlightening us with the significance of World Veterinary Day and how few veterinarians stood unique in multifarious fields and held up our flags high. And once again, I congratulate you, sir, for receiving the C.K. Rao Endowment Trust Award for Outstanding Veterinarians. And moving on with this webinar, we have our speakers ready. And the first speaker is Dr. Naveen Kondru, who is also our alumni. And over to you, Dr. Naveen Swarup.
A very good morning to you all. I wish you all a veterinary days. It's been immense pleasure and feel privileged to introduce our beloved alumni, Dr. Naveen Kondru. He is an alumni of N.T.R. College of Veterinary Science. He is a compassionate and experienced veterinarian, licensed in the United States. He earned a PhD in biomedical sciences and has years of postdoctoral research program, and has advanced biomarker research in animal and human neurological diseases. He is a principal investigator on several internationally funded research projects. And over the past 2 years, he has been practicing in US. His practices focus on preventive medicine, emergency care, and he has performed medical and soft tissue surgery and ensuring highest quality of care possible, including AHA accredited hospital. So, and additionally, he has a strong research career and has given him a unique perspective on utilizing state-of-the-art of technology and research techniques in wide range of animal and human neurological diseases. So with this introduction, I welcome Dr. Naveen Kondru to give his lecture. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for the kind introduction, and I am privileged to share the stage with many of alumni, colleagues, professors, and everybody. Can you confirm if anybody can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, we can hear you, Naveen. Please carry on.
Okay. I'd like to share my screen.
Yeah, wait.
One moment.
We'll make you a co-host. You're already a co-host. You can share your screen now.
All right. Thank you. Let's try this. Yeah. So the title of my talk is going to be Building a More Equitable, Inclusive, Diverse Veterinary Medicine Lessons from Human Health. So my career has been unique in terms of doing a PhD in starting with veterinary medicine and going towards the human side of biomarker discovery. And subsequently, I take some lessons from the human medical setting that I practice in my clinic right now. I do work as research associate and instructor, and also I practice as associate veterinarian at multiple institutions. So with this diverse background, I thought I have a couple of cents that I could share with everybody, and you know, it's more like connecting back to my roots. All right, so there are some scribbles on the screen. I don't know how to get rid of them, but I'll keep moving on.
Yeah, we'll handle it, Naveen.
All right, thank you. So as Dr. Kishore sir mentioned, it's a beautiful presentation. He has in depth covered about World Veterinary Day, and the theme of this year is going to be promoting diversity, equity, and inclusiveness in the veterinary profession, which is a much needed topic right now. Reason being, things are getting global, things are getting unique, things are getting diverse. And this is the time not only in US or advanced countries, we also need to implement the same concepts throughout the world. So this is a really important venue for us to talk about it and do what we can do on our behalf. So this is a short picture, of my team that we went out. As you can see, this is during just about, after the COVID time. And people, although this is a small group that I work with, every person from here is from a different country, different background, different beliefs, systems, and everything. And we all work together to produce something that's valuable, that's in research. So you cannot work alone. You can only work together with multiple people in order to make a solid contributions in the field of research, or in fact, veterinary medicine as well. So I don't have to reintroduce you to the World Veterinary Day, as Dr. Kishore sir absolutely went in depth in this situation. So I'm going to pass on the slide to the next one. So this is an example of University of Florida graduates back in 1980s. As you can tell, if I were to remain silent, you can tell most of the demographic here is going to be white male, and lots of very few women in this picture. As we progress over the years, things have become global. In 1990, 10 years later, you see about equal proportion of genders in this situation, and well, now it's almost trending towards the other way around, which I don't know. It's just the way it is. The medicine has been taken up. Women are more representing the profession, and I do believe this reflects the same with our situation in back in home as well. So the AVMA has come back with a program uniting all the leaders from around the country to serve as founding members of this commission that oversees diverse, equitable, and inclusive provision to make sure that future generations are going to have the same capacity, and we are representing and we're doing our part. So this is what we are hoping for. We want the veterinarians to be global, to be diverse, to be equitable, and every part of the world needs to come together and work in advancing this profession. So what does diversity, equity, inclusion mean to veterinarians, right? So we have to connect back with the community to represent the community we serve. Being a one demographic or one gender does not represent the community we serve. Everyone needs to feel belonged. We have to inspire next generation of graduates, and we have to give the voice to everyone, and promotes the mental well-being when you have diverse group, and that can openly talk and communicate, and it creates a safe environment for not only the veterinarians but also medical professions and so many other people we work along with, farmers, pet owners, and everybody. And also, there is substantial research that DEI, meaning diversity, equity, and inclusive teams, perform much better than non-diverse, non-equitable, and non-inclusive teams. And needless to say, what we need to know what are the subtle differences between these terms that we commonly use: diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? So diversity refers to the differences among individuals from different backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives. Could be race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, geographic location, and more. Okay? And it's important to recognize these differences as they contribute to a more innovative and effective veterinary profession. When it comes to equity, people get confused here when talking about equity and equality. Providing the same resources to two persons does not mean it's equitable. There's a subtle difference we need to capture. This means that everyone has access to the same opportunities and resources, regardless of their background or circumstances. For example, I can go in more depth. There's a saying that you cannot judge a fish by how it climbs the tree, something like that, along those lines. So you have to, create the same circumstances and give the same resources. inclusion, this is much more important than being just diverse and equitable alone, because this means that everyone feels valued in the team. Everyone in the feels respected and supported and can contribute to the profession in a meaningful ways. Everyone brings something unique to the table. That's really important, that we have them, we have them together. Inclusion means creating a welcoming and supportive environment for all individuals to feel comfortable and share their perspective and ideas. Why DEI is more important in veterinary medicine? When I say DEI, it means diversity, equity, and inclusion. Research has shown that diverse teams are more creative, more innovative, more effective, and discharging the duties. And the diverse workforce is better able to address these diverse needs of animals and humans who actually care for them. So when we value and include people from all backgrounds in veterinary medicine, we create a system that works for everyone, no matter who they are and where they come from. We have to keep this in mind, regardless of where we practice, which setting we practice, regardless of it is a human or it's a veterinary. For example, in order to do a genetic study with the genome-wide association studies, a single lab is not sufficient. You got to have thousands and thousands, or sometimes millions of samples together from diverse backgrounds, from different countries, and all the scientists have to work together. Sometimes you see one research article will have 1,000 authors, not just because they all contributed equally, but it's just because they have to come together in order to make that work happen and a tangible product. So this is where it's really, really important, not only in research setting, but also in veterinary setting. This is a lovely example that I like. You have three individuals here, and you have them watch a game. You gave them equal tables and ask them to watch the game, and you can analyze yourself. How is this fair for this little guy with the purple shirt on? And we have to do some adjustments and provide some resources in order to make sure that's fair and equal. I hope this is something valuable for our profession in terms of not only educating the next generation, but also providing the resources for the veterinarians that are already serving in the community, professors at all levels, and incoming students, and everywhere these things needs to be considered. In conclusion, building a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive veterinary profession is not only the right thing to do, it is essential for our success as veterinarians and for the health and well-being of animals and their caretakers. Let's all commit to creating a more inclusive profession for all. And thank you all for allowing me to present this few slides. And I hope this is a useful presentation and inspire somebody to take their part. Thank you all for your time, and I'll allow to connect with you again in a different setting. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to talk.
So participants, any questions you can pose to the speaker. I request participants to pose a few questions to the speaker. If no questions, it's a great talk, Naveen. In fact, it's you're adept in many of the diverse fields. We felt very happy that we're seeing the alumni who settle well in abroad. You have a great knowledge on diversified fields. Thank you so much for joining. I think it's late night there, but in fact, in spite of late night, you joined, and thank you so much. And I extend my warm thanks from Alumni Association. Thank you.
Thank you so much for allowing me to talk, and wonderful opportunity. And I thank organizers. This is amazing. You guys did a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you for being with us. Please stop sharing your screen. Now,
Are you still?
there are few video bites to be played now.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So there are,
and we are here at the C.V.Sc India International Training Center.
So there is a video message sent by Dr. Ilona Otter. She is the Director of Worldwide Veterinary Service.
In the Nilgiris, Tamil Nadu. We've been here and we are here at the C.V.Sc India International Training Center in the Nilgiris, Tamil Nadu. We've been here for almost 13 years by now, providing essential surgical skills training for veterinarians from all around India. So this is also an ABC program, animal birth control program that we run here. So basically we have two benefits of this program. We are maintaining the Nilgiris district free of rabies and keeping the dog population under control by the continuous availability of the spay-neuter service here. We operate both owner dogs as well as ownerless dogs. And by having veterinarians coming here to do this 2-week-long residential surgical course, we are sort of disseminating these skills across the country so that our participants can then take on the humane dog population management in their respective areas and start operating dogs, starting by focusing on owner dogs, which I find is something that's often neglected a bit in this discussion. So we have to remember that street dogs do not exist separately in any sort of independent bubble, but owner dogs that are allowed to roam free, which is very common in many parts of the country, those owner dogs can easily get unwantedly pregnant if the owners don't have access to affordable veterinary surgical services. So we hope that with this inspiration that the participants have from these courses, they can go on and start offering spay-neuter and promoting the spay-neuter among their friends and neighbors, and in that way help to prevent unwanted puppies from getting to the streets.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ilona Otter. And we have one more video message received from our former professor, Dr. Suresh Verma, who is presently working as clinical professor in the Department of Veterinary and Biomedical Sciences at Penn State University.
Hello. As we celebrate the World Veterinary Day, I want to acknowledge the incredible work the veterinarians do every day. As a veterinary scientist, I'm incredibly proud of all the outstanding work done by veterinarians and their dedication and commitment to the health and well-being of animals. I want to commend you all for your service to the veterinary profession. Whether you work in private practice, research, or public health, or in academia, you play a critical role in ensuring that animals receive the care they need, and we are training the future veterinarians. Your work not only supports animals through sickness and health, but also provides comfort and compassion to animals and their human caretakers. As a veterinarian, you have the power to make a difference in the world. As human health is inextricably connected to the health of animals and the environment, your work helps to prevent the spread of disease, ensure food safety, and protect planetary health. By improving the health of animals, you are also improving the health of our planet and our communities. But I fully understand that being a veterinarian can be challenging. You're often faced with complex cases, emotional challenges, and long hours. You may sometimes feel overwhelmed and underappreciated, especially compared to your peers on the human health side. But let me tell you this. Your work is incredibly valuable to the world. So on this World Veterinary Day, I want to thank you all for the incredible work you do. Your passion, your dedication to the veterinary profession are truly inspirational. Keep up the great work and know that you are making a real difference in the world. Thank you.
So moving on with this webinar, we have our second speaker with us, Dr. Venkat Kiran Sidineni, who is also an alumni here, and he wants to introduce himself. So over to you, Kiran.
Thank you, Deepthi. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. My name is Venkat Kiran Sidineni. I'm currently working as an associate veterinarian in Houston, Texas. And I'd like to give you guys a brief introduction about the ECFVG program. Let me share my screen. Can everybody see this?
Yes, we can see. Please carry on.
Okay. So my journey as a veterinarian started in N.T.R College of Veterinary Sciences. I started in the batch of 2001 and graduated in 2006.
Next, Dr. Dinesh Chadavali.
So after my graduation, I started working as a veterinary assistant surgeon in East Godavari district for a few years before starting to pursue my career in masters. And when I came to United States, I did my master's in animal science in Arkansas State University, and went from there to start to work in the animal sector. Initially, I started working in a piggery farm as a farm manager, and then went into the small animal practice. The reason for giving you this brief introduction by myself is to let you guys know that I see a lot of aspirants up there who are willing to come to United States to be a veterinarian. And it's definitely quite a journey, but not an impossible journey. You just need some dedication, and everybody can do some. And there are a few programs that you can choose to go in this direction. I chose the ECFVG program, and I would like to give a brief description about that program today. ECFVG program has like 4 steps in it, which is step 1, mostly like enrollment and providing a proof of graduation and verification of the veterinary college that you have gone through. Step 2, assessment of English eligibility. Step 3, basic clinical science examination. And step 4 is a CPE. These 4 are the basic steps that you need to go through in order to get your graduation from American University and be able to practice up here in the United States. Now, going into details about the step 1. Step 1, as I mentioned, it's mostly registration and proof of graduation. Registration and proof of graduation means it's mostly the paperwork that you're going to be doing in this step. Like you'll be submitting an online application and submitting all your documents to the ECFVG board, and along with some required documentations and everything. So this ECFVG will has a fees for every step that you go through. And for the step 1, you will be paying an amount of $1,400. And once you pay that, and once you submit all the documentation, they will give you a notification mentioning that, okay, we received all your documents. Now, your side of applying to the board has been done. Now, the next step from them goes to them, like a verification of your educational credentials. How do they do that? Means they will send all the documents that you have submitted to the respective university that you have been to. And that will let them, they will corroborate with the information that you have given, with all the details from the associate dean and the dean of the university, providing them or attesting them those details. Once you are in the step 1 process, you can go to the step 2 and step 3, because usually the step 1 process, as I mentioned, is nothing but most of the paperwork in the step 1. And you can complete this step 1 while you are in India. And it usually takes a few weeks to months also, because it's a lot of communication between the universities and the ECFG board. So there will be a lot of time delay. Recently, they did add a documentation necessary for surgical experience. This used to be not the documentation when I was taking the examination, but in 2014 they just started to add this one. What does it say means? It mentions that in the past 5 years, before you applying for this board or ECFG board, you have at least successfully completed 1 spay procedure and 5 minor surgical procedures. It's not about the procedures they're looking into, they're looking into the way you perform, how aseptically you are performing the surgical procedure, how are you gowning, how are you gloving, all kind of draping of the patient. Those are the few things they look into. And they need an attested copy or some international veterinarian vouching that, okay, he done these procedures and he is well versed with these procedures. So he is qualified to move forward with the practical exam if needed. So this is a new documentation they introduced. So that is something that you need to apply also. Moving on to the step 2. Step 2 is nothing but an English language ability step. In India, we have our veterinary school teaching in English. So that's good. But there are few foreign international schools that has English as not being their like a language in the school, and they need to learn all over again, including the technical terms. So that's kind of a challenging part. And also, as you know, in our veterinary profession, communication is more important. So they want to know that you have a good communication skill set to perform your job duties. And for that, they look into the TOEFL or IELTS or Canadian Academic English Language, CAEL scores. I have them on the screen right now, the necessary scores that they're looking into for the TOEFL and IELTS and CAEL. You got to have these scores in a single sitting. That means like you can't have one time with a good listening score, one time with a good writing scores. You need to have all these scores done in one single sitting. And from my understanding, if you're pursuing for this to be a veterinarian in the United States means most of the times getting a master's or preparing for the TOEFL will be the first thing in your minds. So I would say definitely just take a little bit more seriously and look into this course and try to get it. So it will be a good advantage for you to get into a university and also to pass a step 2 for your board exams too. Now, step 3, this is the actual first technical step in the ECFG program. In this, they will be looking for mostly the basic clinical knowledge that you gain from your vet school. Most of the time, they will be looking into the basic courses like anatomy, pharmacology, physiology, pathology, medicine, surgery. So this is all the list of, there is a list of contents and the number of questions that they usually give based upon those subject matters. The total number of questions that were asked, that were posed in this exam is 225 questions, and you will be given 4 hours, that is 240 minutes. So here it's like you'll be just giving, every person will be given like a question, 1 minute per question. So you know it, you know it, you don't know it, you don't know it. So I would definitely recommend to have a good thorough knowledge of this basic clinical science examination before you attempt it. And one thing about this exam is the fee structure is $220. Currently it's on the ECFG board. And if you are interested to take it from India itself, you can, because it will be provided in the Prometric Testing Center with an additional fee of $44.29. This B.C.Sc exam will be given throughout the year. So you can take it any time of the year. But if you fail the step 3, you got to wait at least 4 months before you retake the test again. So if you take the exam BCSC and you passed it, that's good. But you failed it, you got to wait at least 4 months before you can retake the test again. And for BCSC exam, personally, I read from Zuku Review. That's one of the reading material web pages. If you can Google it, Zuku Review. There's a lot of material that is provided in that website, and that greatly helped me to pass through this exam. So step 1, step 2, step 3. So these 3 steps I explained you. Step 1 is mostly documentation, where you will be submitting all your documents. Step 2 is mostly the English test exam, and step 3 is the basic clinical science exam. So until this step, you can go forward. Even though step 1 is not cleared, you can go forward to step 2, and once step 2 is cleared, you can go to step 3. But the last and final step, the most important one, is the step 4, which is a clinical skills assessment test, or also called as CPE, clinical proficiency examination. This is a hands-on 3-day examination conducted on-site, where you need to provide show your skill set to the examiner over there. The different categories, the different sections they look into are small animal medicine, large animal medicine, surgery, anesthesia, necropsy, equine medicine, radiology. So each section has again subdivisions that you need to look into. Once you cleared step 1, step 2, step 3, you will have the opportunity to go to the final step, which is the step 4. At that point of time, they will be providing you with a manual which details you about all the things that you need to show your skill set during the course. For example, in food animal practice, what do you need to do? The manual explains to you that it will be divided into so many subsections, and each subsection you need to show how do you test for mastitis in a cow, how do you place a halter, different, and they will be more specific, and those will change sometimes from year to year. So you got to read the manual thoroughly for step 4 for sure, so that you will know what skill set or what skills are absolutely needed for you. And coming to the fee proposals, in 2020, the CPE examination costs you around like $7,630. That's going to be the fee. That's a huge steep price, but that's what it is. So when you are applying for the CPE examination, you don't need to pay the whole amount at one time. You got to pay $1,000 as a deposit initially, and as soon as you do that, they will approve you pass it to step 3, so you can go ahead and apply for step 4, which is the clinical examination, and you pay that $1,000 deposit, and they will give you the slots which are available. The slots currently available are, as per my knowledge goes, I think it's in the Mississippi State University and in Las Vegas. So those are the 2 centers. So they usually have few slots available throughout the year. So whenever a slot is available, they say, hey, so-and-so dates are available. Would you like to book? And as soon as you book, 60 days before your examination, you need to pay the rest of the fee amount for them. And you got to make your own arrangements to visit the center and take the test for those 3 days of staying there. Once you take the test, they will take at least 3 to 4 weeks to give you the results. And once the results comes by, if the candidate fails in 4 or more sections, they need to take the whole CPE again, the step 4, and they need to pay the whole $7,630 again. So work hard to get as many steps possible cleared up. But still, if you fail less than that, like if you fail in 3 sections and you pass to 4 sections, you will still have an ability to prove yourself and pass those 3 sections in 2 more attempts, and you will be done. And for each retakes, you need to apply again, and you need to pay again a fees of $1,450 for that one again. So that's it. Now, once you're done with all these steps, you will be you'll be qualified as saying like, okay, you are accredited veterinarian in United States. But in order for you to practice in US, you definitely need to take NAVLE, because in order for you to practice in United States, you need to have a state board exam or a state license. And all 50 states needs the vet student to be completed their NAVLE. It doesn't matter if you're a foreigner or international or an American student, everybody needs to pass this examination. It's a little bit more elaborate and more descriptive examination. It's given twice in the whole year. It's going to be in the April window and the November and the December window. The fee structure is going to be like $720. This is a little bit more in detail and in-depth examination, which checks you thoroughly in more ways possible. The examination time itself is like for 7 hours. So each section will be separately given and they will be checking you in more thorough fashion. In regards to reading material, I chose Vet Prep. That greatly have helped me to clear the examination. So definitely I would recommend, if anybody enthusiasts want to go in this direction, to choose Vet Prep as their choice, and that can greatly help them to clear the NAVLE. So once you have the ECFEG done and once you have your NAVLE clear, then you can definitely be considered as a veterinarian and able to practice in United States. And this is something I want to quickly give you a cap about my personal journey up here. And I'm just an average student like everybody. So I had my struggles up here, but only thing I did differently or try to do differently is being persistent. I passed my TOEFL in 2000 and B.C.Sc in 2009. NAVLE, you can see I did 3 attempts because it's a really tough exam. I tried in 2010, could not get through. 2012, no. And finally in 2013, I was able to get through it. The same thing with the CPE also. I need to take 3 attempts. The first attempt, I was able to complete 5 sections, left out with the surgery and anesthesia. And the reason for failing the surgery section is the dog has a seroma after the procedure, a surgical procedure. And I was able to complete in the next retake procedures. So I was able to complete the sections and started practicing in 2014. So since 2014 till 2023, I was able to practice in multiple practices, including some shelter medicine, some private practices, and right now I'm working with a corporate practice also. So my suggestion to the aspirants currently, to my juniors, definitely don't lose hope about the whole procedure, the whole scenario up here. It takes time, but be persistent and keep going at it, and you can make it, and you guys can succeed. And thank you guys for giving me this opportunity on this auspicious day. At this point of time, I can take any questions. Hello.
I request participants, anybody to pose questions to Dr. Venkat Kiran Sithaneni. He is very experienced surgeon and practitioner there in US. In fact, he has elaborately and he has wide knowledge on how to enter USA and how to clear board exams. So please, there are many aspirants, I feel, from this college and from other colleges also, especially budding veterinarians. So please ask, this is an opportunity for you all people. He's very friendly person, so we will answer all questions.
If you,
if you're feeling shy, I think, Kiran.
It's okay.
Yeah,
And
please.
I can definitely drop my email address with the Alumni Association. If you guys have any questions in regards to how to pursue your career to be a veterinarian in the United States, and you want to go through it and you are not sure how to do so, please don't hesitate to shoot me an email. I definitely will try to help you guys in every way possible. And I definitely would like to have more of our vets from Gannavaram to be up here with us, so we can all share the thoughts.
Hello, Kiran. How are you?
Hi, sir.
Happy to see you.
Good to see you too, sir.
So thanks for coming to this webinar.
Thank you.
So who are the other persons staying along with you? I think in Houston means Satish also must be there, no?
Yes, sir. It's Satish and Dr. Hari
Okay.
and Dinesh. We three are from Gannavaram, staying currently in Houston. Yeah.
Good. All the best to your future endeavors now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kiran, for joining with us. It's an elaborate and precise talk. So
Thank you,
so
Naveen.
you
Thank
have
you
given
so
a
much.
wide, yeah, thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Kiran. If at all there are any messages, the messages in the YouTube chat box, we'll get back to you. And you can answer them.
Hi everyone, this is Dinesh Jasti. I graduated from N.T.R College of Veterinary Science, Gannavaram in Hi everyone, this is Dinesh Jasti. I graduated from N.T.R College of Veterinary Science, Gannavaram in 2006. Since then, I moved to United States and got a PhD. Currently, I'm practicing small animal medicine here in Houston, Texas. If you all think right from the villages of rural India to the metro cities of United States, we, the veterinarians, were always held in high regard by the society and people for our contribution towards ensuring food safety, public health, medical research, and strengthening the human-animal bond. I hope you all are enjoying being the veterinarians that you are and all the respect that comes with it. On the occasion of the World Veterinary Day 2023, I take this opportunity to extend my best wishes to every seasoned veterinarians, budding and aspiring veterinarians out there, veterinary leaders, teachers, staff, and whoever that is working in the veterinary field to help make the lives of people and animal better. Have a good one.
So there is one more video bite received from Dr. Samhita, IFS. She is working with the Telangana State Forest Department as Deputy Conservator of Forests of Wildlife in the Office of Principal Conservator of Forest and Chief Wildlife Warden, Aranya Bhavan, Hyderabad.
Hello N.T.R. C.V.Sc. Let me wish all the budding veterinarians in service, and our beloved professors a wonderful World Veterinary Day. On this World Veterinary Day, let us take the oath of implementation of the theme 2023, that is promoting diversity, equity and inclusiveness in the veterinary profession. As per the theme, let us diversify. Your Samhita 06 batch.
Hello, Deepti. Nice to see you after a long time. We have one more speaker from our alumni, Dr. Deepti Chadalavada. I invite Dr. Chaitanya to give her brief introduction. Hi, Deepti. Hello, welcome to all our veterinary fraternity. I would like to introduce today's next speaker, Dr. Chadalwada Deepti, our beloved alumni and my dearest friend, on brief overview of laboratory animal medicine, career and its prospectus. So Dr. Deepti received her B.V.Sc and AH from our university in 2006 and PhD in cellular and molecular biology from Irel and Manila Graduate School of Biological Science, California in 2014. She completed the laboratory animal medicine residency program at City of Hope and University of Southern California in 2014. As part of the PhD and residency program, she developed animal models for human B-cell lymphoma, HIV, hepatitis, and tested various siRNAs, aptamers in animals. After completion of residency program, she worked as a clinical veterinarian at University of California and later at Armed Forces Radiobiology Research Institute, Bethesda. She also worked as a consultant attending veterinarian for Sobron Biosciences. She has more than 13 years of experience as laboratory animal veterinarian and worked with various animal species, including rodents, dogs, cats, rabbits, pigs, guinea pigs, and non-human primates. So Dr. Chadalwada becomes specialty board certified by the American College of Laboratory Animal Medicine in 2017. She currently works as an attending veterinarian and facility veterinarian at National Institute of Health Sciences, NIAID. Here you are.
Thank you. Thank you, Chaitanya, and thank you, Deepti, for the wonderful introduction. Let me share my screen. So today I'll talk about laboratory animal medicine, career and prospects, and also I'll give a brief overview of what it is to be a laboratory animal veterinarian. When I'm speaking, I'm specifically saying about US because that's where I have been for the past, 13, 14 years. And this is what I know. So when we talk about laboratory animal medicine, it's a AVMA recognized specialty field. So what we do basically is we diagnose, treat, and prevent diseases in animals that are being used as subjects in biomedical activities. The main role of the laboratory animal veterinarian is to promote animal welfare by ensuring that these animals that are being used in any experiment, any scientific, any biomedical research experiment, to make sure that they are well taken care of and that we minimize the pain and distress. So remember, we are saying we minimize the pain and distress. It's not, we don't eliminate the pain and distress. That is part and parcel of doing an experiment on an animal. But it is our responsibility as a laboratory animal veterinary clinician that we minimize the pain and distress. So we also get healthy animals and maintain them so that the research results can be reproduced again, and they are reliable. We also serve as a unique bridge between the humane use of these animals and also advancement of scientific and medical knowledge. I believe that is the main role of a veterinarian in the clinical setting. So what animals do a laboratory animal veterinarian look at? So as you can see, there are a wide variety of animals. Saying that I work with elephants and whales and tigers is being a stretch. I have never worked with them, so don't worry, you won't be working with them too if you are a lab animal veterinarian. Mostly we work with mice. There may be non-human primates, guinea pigs, or some species like fish, and this is a naked mole rat. So these are some of the species which you will commonly see in the laboratory setting. On any particular day, you may look at a horse, which is being used for producing some antibodies, or you can look at the well-being of a as small as a zebrafish, and diagnosing what's wrong with the environment, or is the pH of the water good for the zebrafish. So after finishing the laboratory animal training, or once you have that, where can you get the employment? So it can be in academia. Academia is in US, most of the universities have some kind of laboratory setting or some kind of research going on. So each of these, wherever there is research, there should be a veterinarian looking at these animals. And this is where they will opt for a a person who has a training in lab animal medicine. Or you can get in industry like Charles River, Teconic, or any pharmaceutical company. Or the job can be in regulatory affairs. USDA and OLA are some of the regulatory offices that are in US, where they will be hiring lab animal veterinarians. Or it can be in a government setting, like where I work. NIH is one of the federal facilities, and when I say federal, it is like a central government facility, and they have jobs there. So hearing all this, you guys really want to become a lab animal vet. So how will you be? In US, at least you have to get a bachelor degree and then go to a vet school where you can get Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. So I'm assuming most of you guys are at this stage. To apply for any residency program in US for veterinarians, you should be licensed in US and should be able to practice veterinary medicine in US. You just heard from Dr. Sidineni how to become licensed in US. So you have to go through all those steps before you apply for the residency program. I think the only residency program you can apply without having a license is pathology. Some of the pathology programs don't require you to have a license. Other than that, all the other residency programs ask for a license even before you apply. So to be a lab animal vet, there are two routes. One is the residency program. And like I said, you can apply for the program. They have to submit your application with all your qualifications. They will ask you to write an essay on why do you want to be a lab animal vet, and they will call you for an in-person interview. You will be interviewed based on and asked questions regarding what's your experience with these animals? Why do you want to be a lab animal vet? What's your experience? Do you have any lab experience, like in a real world setting? So I went through this route. And the residency program can be anywhere between 2 to 5 years. Mostly like 90 to 95% of the residency programs are 2 to 3 years. Very few are 5 years. When you are doing a 5-year residency program, it's usually combined with a PhD. So once you are done with your residency program, you will have your PhD and you completed the lab animal residency. So that's when the 5 years is. If you are doing a 2-year or 3-year program, you won't get a PhD or a master's. Those are different things. So they will just say you completed your residency program. The other route is the experience option. So in this option, you can work after you get your license, you can work for 6 years in any laboratory setting. Some of the you can work in any of the previous mentioned employments, like in a government setting or in a university or anywhere, it doesn't matter. But you have to have 6 years of relevant experience, meaning you should work with the lab animals specifically. This route is not widely popular because, first of all, it is very hard to get a job after you finish once you are DVM licensed, to get a job in lab animal field as a veterinarian. You will have very few options or very few choices to make from. Usually some of the labs, they do their own work and they will require a veterinarian to do surgeries on the animals. That's the only employment you can get, and you have to have 6 years of relevant experience, and you have to defend defend to the board that you do have the experience. So it is a little bit complicated route, but I have known people who have done this route. So in addition to this, you must also be a first author in one of the research articles that is being published in biological sciences or laboratory animal science journals. And this journal should be a peer-reviewed journal. So this is where the 5-year program may help a little bit, but all the residency programs, even the 2 years one, the mentors or the people who are there will help you get a first order paper. Everyone knows that this is a requirement, and even the Americans who are here and who graduated here in US doesn't have a paper when they come out of the veterinary school. So they will help you get a first order paper. So once you completed your residency or your experience for 6 years and you have a first order paper, then you can apply to this American College of Laboratory Animal Medicine. This is an organization which is run by lab animal vets. So you submit all your credentials to them, either going to the that you finish your residency, showing them the proof, showing the proof that you are licensed in US, and sending them the first order paper and paying your fee. It will be like $1,000, which is not a lot. And if you are in a residency program, 50% of the time, the program pays for you the first time. So if you pay one time, you can take the exam 3 times. But the exam is only once a year. The exam is conducted only once a year in June, July, during those months. So if you fail the exam, you have to wait for 1 more year to take the exam. But like I said, you can, once you pay the fee, you will have 3 attempts to do it. If you fail all the 3 attempts, I believe you have to wait 2 years without taking the exam and then repay the fee and take it. But I have only known one person out of 200 people who have failed the exam 3 times. So it's a rare possibility, and it doesn't happen basically. If you are doing your work, if you did your residency program, you will pass. That's not like the licensing exam which Dr. Sidney talked. I felt those are much harder compared to this board exam. So some of the brief history for a lab animal medicine in US is, I'll go through with you so that you will have some idea about how a job will look like, or whether you want to pursue this career or not. So lab animal medicine is the 3rd oldest veterinary specialty in North America. So it all started in 1915. So in 1915, in Mayo Clinic, Dr. Simon Brimhall was given employment, basically to take care of animals that Mayo Clinic was doing experiments on. So even after he started doing the work and people came to know that these animals need to be taken care of, and even after all that, until 1940s, nothing happened. There are only like a handful of people who actually worked with lab animals and who had knowledge on how to treat these animals. But in 1944, after the World War ended, Congress, that is like a parliament in US, so they passed this Public Health Service Act where they said, okay, we are going to give funding to all, we are going to increase the funding that we are currently doing to NIH, and not only just to NIH, but to all the universities, to all the people in US who wants to do this biomedical research. So then everyone wants the funding, and to get the funding, they need someone who can take care of the animals. But there are not a lot of people who can work with these animals. So that's when really it picked up. So in 1957, AVMA recognized laboratory animal medicine as one of the specialty. This American Board of Laboratory Animal Medicine is now called ACLAM. It is American College instead of board, because People are funny with names, I guess. So college is like all the colleagues coming together and working. They just changed the name. Nothing happened other than that. Even after 1957, nothing happened. I mean, there are no laws, there are no regulations of how these animals can be taken care of. There is nothing. Basically, a few people who get board certified and started working in this field. They started getting more knowledge how to take care of these animals. They are going through trial and error. What's wrong? What can we do with these animals? How can we minimize their pain and distress, at the same time get the results what the scientists want? But in 1965, there is a Dalmatian named Pepper. So some of the dog nappers, they stole this Dalmatian from a farm in Pennsylvania, and they sold that dog to a hospital in New York. And the scientists in New York didn't know where the dog came from. They didn't care where the dog came from. They just got the dog and started working on the dog, started experimenting on the dog with some surgical procedures. And unfortunately, this dog died because of those experiments. And then the original owners came to know about this, that the dog was stolen and taken to this lab where they tortured this dog, and the dog was dead now. And this story was published in Sports Illustrated. As soon as the story came out, there was one more publication in Life magazine where they exposed the neglectful treatment of the animals by a dog dealer in Maryland. So you can see in 1965, 2 articles came out about these dogs, and people love dogs. They are like family members. So there is this huge outcry saying scientists are killing their dogs, stealing their dogs, experimenting on them, and torturing them basically, and killing them. So there were these lobbyists, and all the people demanded the Congress that they pass some laws so that the dogs cannot be stolen like that. So in 1966, the Congress passed Laboratory Animal Welfare Act, which was renamed as Animal Welfare Act in 1975. But even after 1966, this law basically safeguarded, provided, and regulated only dogs and cats and their transport from one state to the other or to outside the country. Other than that, it was not a lot of regulations. But now there are a lot of policies and regulations and guidelines for working with animals in US. I won't go through in detail, but I was told this animal experimentation or animal research in US is the second most regulated field or regulated in US. So the first is nuclear power. So after that, it's the animals that they are regulating, how their research is being done on these animals. So we have to follow all these policies when we are working with the animals, the US government principles, the Public Health Service, and the guide. This is the guide, which is like the Bible when you are working with the animals. So for passing the board exam too, you have to know from top to bottom of this guide, not just memorize or by heart, but you have to know in detail, like you have to know all the scenarios, what the guide is speaking about, and how you can take care of this. The Animal Welfare Act, which I spoke about, this covers all the vertebrate animals except mice and rats and birds that are bred for research. Except those, everything else is covered by the Animal Welfare Act regulations. So what that is if mice of the genus Mus and rat of the genus Rattus that are purpose bred for research are not covered by this. So why I'm specifying is these USDA comes and looks at the facilities once a year. It is a surprise visit. And they only come if you have, these are called covered species. If you have dogs, cats, non-human primates, guinea pigs, anything except for mice and rats, they come and visit your facilities and look at how the research is being done, look at the welfare of these animals. And if they find something is not according to these regulations or not according to the standards that were being set, they have the power to turn down, to close the facility. And as a vet in that facility, you are the person who has to take care of these animals, who has to make sure all these rules and regulations are being followed. The other thing is the AVMA guidelines for euthanasia of the animals. So you are using all these animals. For example, I have in my facility, I have 20,000 mice cages. So approximately I have 70,000 mice. So how are we going to euthanize after they are done with the experiments? It should be done in a humane way. And these are the guidelines that help to that tell us how they can be euthanized so that the animals experience very minute pain and distress. If you want to deviate from these guidelines, that must be justified for scientific reasons, and it should be approved by your ACUC. I'll talk about the ACUC in a minute. ACUC is a committee. So this is a committee. Every institute that has animal experiments or animal research should have this committee. I won't talk about all these roles, but this is the role that a lab animal vet will be playing. That is the veterinarian. So it should be, there must be a veterinarian in this committee for this committee to function. Without a veterinarian, there is no committee. And if there is no committee, there is no research. If there is no research, then there is no funding for that university. So to be an attending vet or an attending veterinarian member in that committee, you must be a veterinarian and you must possess direct or delegated responsibility for the care of the animals in the facility. What this means is, if you go into a room, let's suppose I go into a monkey room and I see that the animal is in pain. So I call the investigator and say, hey, this is your animal. So you are doing such and such studies in this animal, but I don't think the animal, that's not in your protocol, or this animal is having undue pain and distress. So I feel like this animal needs to be euthanized. So I have, as a veterinarian, I have the say in what goes to the animal. The PI cannot override what a veterinarian in that position can say. So that will be the lab animal vet, whoever that is. And the lab animal vet must possess training or experience in the species that they are under the care. For example, like a shirt, you never know which species you will get. Usually it's mice and rats, but you may get an African dormice. So you, as a lab animal vet, you have to learn at least the basics of what the species is and what the characteristics of that species is, how the animals behave, or how you can treat these animals. So being a lab animal vet is a constant studying, or it's like a continuing education for you. You never know what techniques the investigators may require of you. You never know what species of animals you may find under your care. So I was talking about this protocol review. When an investigator wants to do work with animals and do research on the animals, so the first step is they have to write up a proposal and submit it to the committee I talked about. So once the committee gets that, the committee will review the protocol. There are different processes, but they will review the protocol, they will read the protocol and ask the questions. So most of the time, it is you will ask more questions, you'll ask for more clarifications, and send that protocol back to the investigator. In rare occasions, you are completely satisfied with what the investigator wrote, and you will approve the protocol. If, like I said, in most cases, we ask questions, we ask for more clarifications, we ask them to change things or clarify more in detail why they want to do certain things or how they want to do these things, and send it back to the investigator. So the investigator will get all the list of the questions, he will answer those questions and send the protocol back again to the committee. So the committee will either be satisfied with what the PI is saying or may have more questions. So this process continues back and forth until the committee is fully satisfied. So once the protocol is approved, that is when the investigator can start the work. Investigator can only work what is written in the protocol and only after it is being approved. He cannot perform any research without this approval. So when you are reading the protocols, the main thing we look at is the 3 R's, which is replace. How can we replace the animals? Is there a new in vitro technique, or is there a new computer simulation technique that we can replace the animals? Reducing the numbers. So you always look at the statistical analysis or the statistics that the PI submits in these protocols, and you look at, is there a way to reduce the group numbers, or is there a way to reduce the number of animals that is being used in protocol? And refine is like, this is like refining your technique to minimize pain and distress to these animals. So there is this institute called ALAC International. So ALAC is acronym for Association for Accreditation and of Laboratory Animal Care. So this, what is this is, it's a non-profit organization which has been established in 1965. It is a voluntary peer review program. So there are whoever work with ALAC are your peers. Like I can say, okay, I want to go on a site visit. So we voluntarily apply to this, and they send us to different institutes. So a group of people who are working in the lab animal field and who knows the regulations come and visit your facility once every 3 years. And as a veterinarian, you should be thorough with what's going on. You should be able to explain to the site visitors what's going on in your facility if they have any questions. So when they come, they usually look very in depth. They look at your cages, they look at your animals, they look at your HVAC system, they look at your walls if they are smooth, they look at your protocols. So they do all these things, and at the end they will either say your institute is accredited, or then they may need mandatory things, deficiency. They find some mandatory deficiencies and they say, you need to fill these before we give you the accreditation. So why do we need ALAC accreditation? So it is like a gold mark or a gold stamp saying this facility is good. And NIH, when they give funds, usually they look at ALAC accreditation and PHS policy assurance before they give funds, not just in US. Let's say our college at N.T.R. C.V.Sc gets funds so from NIH. So they will ask for PHS assurance. That is a letter saying that N.T.R. Veterinary University will follow all the rules and regulations while working with these animals as defined by the public health policy, or like I was saying, the guide. So we will do all the things that has been approved by the guide, and we will do only according to them. So you have to draft a letter and send it to and with all the details, send it to NIH. Only once they receive that, you will get the funding. So this is a use for ALAC. And this ALAC International does site visits and accreditation all over the world. So these are some of the companies that are accredited in Telangana, and most of these are in Hyderabad. I tried to look for Andhra Pradesh. I could not find any company that has been accredited by ALAC in Andhra Pradesh. So this is available online. It's a public information, so you can look up if you are interested. So I thought I'll show you some of how the animals are maintained. So you can see this is a mouse cage. So this mouse cage, you can see the rack. So each cage has mice. So this is the food, there will be some bedding, and there will be water. So these cages, this system is called individual ventilated caging system. So the airflow goes through here. So this is the HVAC. So this pumps the air. There will be airflow changes like 8 to 10 per minute. So there will be airflow and it goes out. And these are HEPA filtered. So whatever reagents these mice get, they stay within the cage. They don't come out to the whoever is working in the room. So you can see there are space requirements for each cage, or how many mice can be in each cage, depending upon, this is called a standard cage. So when there is a standard cage, usually we have 4 to 5 mice in each cage, and each cage will have some enrichment. This is called an igloo. It is red in color because mice cannot see red or cannot see through red. So when they are inside, they feel this is all dark, so no one can see them, but we can see them, but they can't see us. So these mice are prey species. So they get anxiety and stress if we keep on poking them or looking at them. They want to hide. This is the nesting material where the mice likes to have it for warmth and comfort. Rat cages are similar to these, but bigger in size, and usually we have 2 rats in each cage. Mice and rats are social animals like us. Most of the animals are social animals like us. So they should be housed in groups. If we separate one mice and keep them in this cage, then they get distressed. So we try and keep together. So this is for the monkeys. They can be like group housed like this outside with the and all the non-human primates facilities usually have this group housing, but when they are in experiment, whatever reason, they can be singly housed in these cages, the stainless steel cages. So once they need enrichment. So they can have, you can see at the bottom corner where you have these balls, they can climb up. So usually most of these cages, and non-human primates watch TV too. So we provide TV in their rooms with, usually we play cartoons like Dora or any films like Finding Nemo. Those are the, I don't know, my monkeys like Finding Nemo, so we play them a lot. And these are the new world monkeys. The monkeys we see in India are called old world primates. They are rhesus macaques. And the monkeys in South America are called the new world primates. These are the new world primates. They are small and they like these hammocks. So we have those. So basically what we are doing is having these monkeys, even if they are in the cages, trying to simulate their natural environment so they will be more comfortable. And this is the zebrafish housing. So you can see there are fish tanks and they will be housed in these racks. These zebrafish are from India. They are from the river Ganges. These zebrafish are from there, but we use a lot. My facility doesn't have it, but we have zebrafish, or have worked with zebrafish when the researcher wants to do some experiments with toxicology or genetics, that kind of stuff. So being a lab animal vet, you will get to work with different kinds of species, but the main important takeaway is you should be interested in rules and regulations. My job is, like, I would say 40% is taking care of the animals, and 60% to 70% is making sure that all the rules and regulations are being followed, reading those protocols, talking with the investigators, making sure they understand these rules and regulations, training them, training people. That takes a major part of the portion of my job. That's it. Any questions?
Any questions from the participants? Thank you, Deepthi. Thank you for enlightening us in detail about laboratory medicine. I personally know her.
how, if we give anything, how she can go deep into that point. And within short notice, we approached her and she readily accepted our invitation. Thank you for giving us your precious time.
Thank you. Have a good one, everyone.
Hello, friends, colleagues, veterinarians, my classmates, and all the organizers of this event, World Veterinary Day 2023. I convey my best wishes on this very important day as you celebrate. I'm Suresh Pusala. I'm a graduate of veterinary science from the Tirupati campus, went to US, came back, and I have 2 startups. I can only tell that veterinarians are very, very important in drug discovery for human disease research, discovering drugs, vaccines, many things, not just for animal husbandry, treatment of animal diseases and animal welfare, but we play a very, very important role in the treatment of human diseases as well. So there are a lot of research opportunities, leadership opportunities, especially shown during the pandemic, how important veterinarians are. So on this special day, I'd like to congratulate N.T.R. C.V.Sc Alumni Association, and you have a wonderful veterinary day on this 2023, 29th of April. And thanks to Kishore, Dr. Sridevi for asking me to give this short motivational talk. So all the best, you'll all do great. Celebrate the World Veterinary Day 2023. Signing off, Suresh. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jasleen Kaur from Hyderabad, and I'm practicing in Allwet Pet Clinic, which I started in 2017. I am a graduate from Hyderabad itself, and I've done my post-graduation from Gadvasu in surgery and radiology. I think since I was in college, if I compare the trend right now, veterinary has really taken a huge leap forward where people are joining the field because they like it, because they actually want to become vets, and even pet parents are becoming more aware about what needs to be done with with their pets, what care needs to be taken. They're willing to go for all the diagnostic tests which are required. They're willing to go for other things which the vets advise them to do, including surgeries, elective as well as emergency surgeries. So I think the future for the new vets is very, very bright in this field. And I'm very excited to see the new graduates which come out. And all the best, and wish all of you a very happy veterinary day.
So moving through the webinar, we have our next speaker, Dr. S. Krishna Rao. Over to you, Dr. Kamlakar sir. Please give a brief introduction of him.
Thank you, Dipti. So today I'm very happy to invite Dr. Siglipalli Krishna Rao. So GV 2000 batch veterinarian. So presently working as Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax at Visakhapatnam. So he is going to enlighten us the topic regarding role of veterinarian in the development of society. So Dr. Krishna Rao is.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Sir, we can hear you, sir. Please carry on. You can share your slides.
Am I
Dr. Krishna Rao.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, Krishna Rao.
Sir.
Yeah, brief introduction about Dr. Krishna Rao. So he is from GV 2000 year batch, graduated in 2005 from our college only. So later he selected to Indian Revenue Services income tax through Civil Services Examination 2015 conducted by the Union Public Service Commission. So he also got a diploma in law from National Law School of India, University, Bangalore. So he's having a very good work experience. He worked as a veterinary assistant surgeon from June 2006 to November 2016 at Sitampeta, Ponduru Mandal in Srikakulam district. Later, he was trained at National Academy of Direct Taxes, Nagpur from December 2016 to June 2018. So as a part of training on international taxation, he has visited Paris, Zurich, Amsterdam, and on job training at Vadodara, Hyderabad also he worked. In 2018, so he was posted as Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax in Visakhapatnam, later promoted to Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax in 2020, at present holding the charge of International Taxation of Andhra Pradesh. So with this brief introduction, I request Dr. Sigilpalli Krishna Rao to carry on with his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for introducing me. Good morning, all. I wish all the veterinary fraternity happy World Veterinary Day. Actually, I have not prepared any PPT or slides. Just I want to give a talk on the topic social development, the role of animal husbandry, the role of veterinarian in the social development. You can say whatever it is all synonymous. Just I will give a brief. You know all these roles and responsibilities as a veterinarian, but just I want to re-emphasize at this point. Historically, since ancient medieval period, development of human beings closely associated with animal husbandry activities, as evidenced from Harappan civilization at Indus Valley, with the archaeological evidence like humped bull or animals they domesticated, wild animals they domesticated, like dog for security, boar for hunting, sheep for wool, etc. Not only in Harappan civilization, several other civilizations also associated with the animals and animal husbandry activities across the world. And in medieval period also, kings used to maintain huge cavalry or infantry and to wage the wars to expand the kingdoms. And during that period, maintenance of livestock was treated as a wealth and a status symbol. In coming to this modern period, after 19th century onwards, society developed with the progress of technology. And the role of veterinarian becoming much more professional than earlier periods. Earlier, during before modern period, veterinarian, like not much of professionalism was there. But with the advent of this technology, science and technology after 19th century, veterinarian role becoming much more professional. So like invention of clinical diagnostic tools and techniques is all becoming more in advanced stages. So broadly, veterinarian role is a multidisciplinary in nature. So we can divide his role in society as socio-cultural aspects, socio-cultural activities in the society, economic activities, political activities, and administrative role. A veterinarian plays an administrative role, and his role in environmental aspects also. So in these aspects, he plays a multidisciplinary role. Coming to the socio-cultural role, livestock is an lead activity of farmers. As per the latest 20th livestock census, nearly 30 million people are depending directly on the livestock for their major livelihood. And more than 2/3 of rural population are they are having the only source of livelihood from the livestock, because livestock provides food and nutritional security with the animal products like milk, meat, and egg. You know, and livestock activities are all integrated components of agriculture. Here, one output of one sector gives input to the other sector. So agriculture and animal husbandry, sericulture, some like apiculture, these are all interrelated. Output of one sector leads to input. So farmers mainly depend on this integrated farming system. And many societies are recognized with the animals. Animals, they grow, they rare, like shepherds, hunter-gatherers, nomadic tribes. You see some tribes are identified with their animals, like Toda tribe in Nilgiris and Sherpas in Himalayas, etc. And livestock gives a social symbol. It gives a social prestige or pride to the societies. For example, Punganur breed, Ungol breed. And other than that, pet animal gives a companionship. It also gives security to the elder people, older people. And some animals used in recreation, sports activities during festive seasons, like bullfight, cockfights, bullock cart competitions. These activities give social solidarity, like social cohesion, like people gather during festive seasons and then they celebrate. So it is a social base. It is a connecting link between the societies. With this importance of the animals, with this importance of livestock in the society, veterinarian plays a role in preventing and curative treatment to the ailing animals, developing crossbreeds for better animal products, or upgrading the local varieties of breeds, and extension activities like disseminating his information, professional knowledge to the society. Thereby, in public health aspect also, he plays an important role in preventing the zoonotic disease and better quality of life of human beings as a public health officer. Coming to this economic role, livestock is considered as a moving bank. You can call it as a moving bank because unlike agriculture, livestock rearing is continuous process. Like it is a year-long activity. Agriculture is a seasonal activity, little bit. Animal husbandry is not a seasonal; it is throughout the year. So, poor laborer or landless laborer can sell his property. Property means his animal or animal products at any point of time and get money from the market. So, poor people consider it as a moving. And when agriculture fails due to environmental hazards, then livestock comes rescue the farmer. Livestock is a capital resource, so we call it as a capital resource. In economic terms, livestock contributes 4.5% of GDP in India and 8.8 million people employment to the 8.8 million people in India. And many industries based on livestock are generating employment. Like many industries, livestock-based industries, like leather industry, dairy, poultry farming, milk processing plants, and meat processing, and production of wool. Even these products and livestock products we are exporting to other countries and thereby earning foreign exchange reserves to India also. And with this importance of livestock in economic activity, what veterinarian plays role is he with his professional knowledge, he gathers the market data, like market demand. Market demand, he gathers the data and with his livestock products technology knowledge, he uses the livestock technology knowledge and he add value to the products, livestock products, like processing of milk, meat, etc. And he plays a role in preservation of cold storage so that the value of the products will increase. And whenever demand in the market, he promotes the sale. Not only in this, Hyderabad is considered as a pharmaceutical hub. So many research activities in the R&D, veterinarian is playing a key role in production of drugs, vaccines, and India is becoming a brand for many pharmaceutical drugs. So in this aspect, veterinarian is a key role in economic activities of India. And coming to this political aspect, here political aspect means not like political activities. In Gujarat, cooperative societies were a successful formula. Cooperative societies formed for milk production. This is best example is Amul, Anand Milk Union Limited. It worked on the cooperative society model. With that success, it was implemented throughout India in a three-phase manner. Which resulted into a white revolution in India. Actually, NDDB, National Dairy Development Board, started Operation Flood program. With that Operation Flood program, we achieved white revolution. Main aim of white revolution is not to increase the production, not only increase the production, but also to get a fair price to the producer by avoiding the middleman. So with that white revolution, India achieved export status in milk, and farmers also getting the fair price. After that, the same cooperative structure expanded throughout India. Not only in milk, but on sheep and goat federations. All associations worked in a democratic way. Without active support and technical expertise advice by the veterinarian to these bodies, to these milk associations or sheep goat federations. Without expert advice, technical support by the veterinarian, that much achievement was not possible. And coming to the administrative role, as a veterinarian in the Department of Animal Husbandry, he is witnessing a lot of structural changes in the department from top to field level. Not only structure and functionally, he is implementing the government schemes, central sector schemes, central sponsored schemes, and programs of the livestock sector. He is striving for the welfare of the farmers. The veterinary universities, polytechnic colleges, and research institutions at both the central and state level are the knowledge hubs. They train the young veterinarians, graduates, who in turn disseminate knowledge to the society. In veterinary as an environmental role, he plays an important role in the wildlife conservation and preserving rare and endangered species. So many veterinarians work in the zoos. Means in situ conservation type, enclosed conservation. Whereas ex situ conservation means wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, national parks. In every aspect of conservation, veterinarian has to be participating. So veterinarian playing a major role in maintaining stable and active biodiversity, preserving of breeds by breeding techniques, and other aspect like environmental aspect, production of biogas, organic manure, etc. In these aspects also, he gives knowledge to the society, his expertise. And it is the animal husbandry department and its workforce, mainly veterinarian, who can guide livestock farmers to enhance their animal productivity, thereby making the livestock enterprise more profitable. So without the active participation of veterinarian, India can't think of achieving the task. Recent planning, latest census, they aimed for doubling the farmers' income. So without active participation of the veterinarian, we can't think of achieving this target of doubling the farmers' income. And there are some challenges in achieving this. And challenges means low profit. Low profit here means achieving this break-even point in the business of related to livestock sector. It taking time. It takes a long time. So it is low profit, high risk in the maintenance and health aspect. It is a people consider it as a low status also, or some people in lower sections of the society who only maintain the lifestyle like that they feel. So it is also a challenge, and still, even though we are India is the most populous country, but technically now education and literacy level is very less, like compared to other percentage literacy percentage with other countries. So there is a lack of technical knowledge with the people, especially rural people, and day by day decreasing of the land holding size, small land holding size. And after this green revolution and economic liberalization, 1990, there is a diversification of workforce, and many people are migrating towards industry, mostly to the urban areas. So that is also a challenge. So farmers continuing to farm in the absence of opportunities, lack of opportunities only. They feel that because of lack of opportunities, they are strictly conserving and the activities. If any opportunity is there, they leave the farming and they go outside. Because of lack of opportunity outside only, they are conforming with this farming. So after in 1991 onwards, after this liberalization policy, department faced several challenges, like rise in price of commodities because imports flooded into the country. As globalization happened, because of this globalization, more technically advanced countries exporting animal products into our country. After that, anyway, government come up with anti-dumping duty. That is other issue. And after this liberalization of involvement middleman or commission agents, that is also increased, and the shortage of labor. These are all the challenges. So veterinarian had to play a key role to take these challenges with his professional knowledge by involving the society for a better growth rate. So that contributes to the GDP of our country. So in the recent times, animal department undergone a lot of changes, like structurally reorganization of cadre at field level, and functionally veterinarians facing using more advanced technology, like software applications in entering data, reporting to other teams. So with this, I can share my experience as a veterinary assistant surgeon. I worked for 10 years. I had a good memorable experience of working in rural area. In initial years of my posting, I worked in tribal area, that is tribal scheduled area where most of people are tribes, Sitampeta and Srikakulam district. It is a geographically difficult terrain, hilly area, and people there mostly rear sheep or goat. It is not like a herd rearing type, but each household maintain 5 to 6 sheep or goat. Well, milk animal population is very less. So the nature of work as a VS is slightly different from VS of plain areas. In the sense, reaching the village to treat the animals is itself a difficult task, because they can't bring the animal to the dispensary. So we have to convince, and also we have to convince the people during mass deworming vaccination programs, because some are reluctant to get their animals vaccinated due to some taboos, customs, beliefs in that society, especially in tribal societies. They don't want to get the animal vaccinated. So in that situation, we have to educate them about the animal health care and about the importance of treatment to the animals. And we have to educate about the zoonotic disease like FMD, rabies, and because some tribal areas are endemic to FMD, and we used to take measures to prevent the spread of the disease to humans, because it is also a public health aspect. We used to do vaccination the animals FMD vaccine regularly. And during my tenure as VS regarding implementation of the government schemes related to livestock sector, I successfully implemented many schemes. I actively participated in many schemes, like for example, Post-Kranti scheme for purchasing of high-yielding milk animals from other states with financial support. Anyway, subsidy from Department and Department of Animal Husbandry. But for the farmer contribution, I approached ITDA for extra like marginal amount for the marginal amount farmer side. ITDA is in Integrated Tribal Development Agency, that is the department organization, especially for the tribal areas. And I involved SHG group, self-help groups also as a group contribution for purchasing of animals in the scheme. It was a successful scheme. Because successful scheme means in the tribal areas when I was there in Setumpeta. Unlike plain areas, it was difficult to implement the scheme. So that gives me a satisfaction. And regarding I conducted several health camps and farmer awareness programs to educate the farmers about the activities. Extension activities plays a key role to encourage the farmers to grow fodder grass and azolla cultivation, silage preparation, feeding to the animals, and distributing the cattle feed silage bags to the farmers, identifying the eligible farmers. These are all in all those activities at the field level. Veterinary plays a key role. So my suggestion to field veterinarians, along with the daily activities like preventive and curative treatment of animals at the dispensary, if we work in collaboration or in coordination with other line departments like market committees, agriculture officers, some self-help groups, ITDA, some other line departments, so that we can get subsidies and financial aid to the farmers and marginal amount to the farmers who can't afford over the subsidy. So if it is inclusive, to conclude, veterinary has to work in a holistic way by integrating several areas, several subjects of his expertise for sustainable development of the society. If it is inclusive, then only the results or outputs what we have achieved will be sustained for next generations. So the fruits what we have enjoyed now can be carried forward to next generations or successive generations. If it is a sustainable development, then only we can feel that we have achieved the target. So with this, can conclude. Anyone can interact with me. Carry on further the discussion.
Thank you very much, Krishna, for your valuable sharing of your knowledge and speech. So again, good lecture regarding the role of veterinarian in our society. So you have touched all the fields, like even the cooperative societies, universities, agriculture, and other allied sectors and all. So another request from myself. So can you just tell me your arduous journey? So in reaching to this level in UPSC. So for our viewers and all, can you please share a few words regarding your journey in UPSC?
Regarding journey means, so I graduated in 2005, December. After that, for a small period, I joined 2000 December, relieved from college in 2000 December. After that, I joined for a small period of 6 months in a coaching center in Hyderabad. Just to actually, to be frank, to spend time till get the job. So I joined in a coaching center on suggestion of my friend, one of my friends there. And 2006, I got the BS posting and joined in Srikakulam. So I did not appear at that time. So after joining into the service, initially during college days also, I was thought of know that we have no opportunities, no awareness. At that time, college was like nascent stage. No one aware of this procedures. And so when I was there in Hyderabad during that 6 months tenure, I got a little bit awareness and somehow we can manage. But after joining into the BS, because of this routine activities, that preparation was diluted a little bit. So I did not prepare for some time. And simultaneously, I appeared for the State Public Services Commission exams, Group 1 exam. I appeared and wrote prelims, mains. 2 to 3 times, 3 times I have appeared Group 1 main exam. And for one time, I appeared interview also. That interview was cancelled. Because of this Group 1 exam, my civils preparation was disturbed. So that I left that Group 1 preparation and focused mainly on UPS exam. While doing job, I continued my preparation. Whenever mains exam is there, I used to go to Hyderabad and stay with friends for 1 month, 2 months. After main exam, writing the mains exam, I come back to job. So somehow I managed year on year. Whenever requirement is there, I went to Hyderabad and complete the task, and after that I come back to the department. That happened like that, bringing material from Hyderabad. There was no continuous preparation. It is a phase-wise, little bit backpack-wise preparation. So now and then I continued preparation. So seriously, I started preparation for a year long in 2015 itself. After marriage, I started my serious preparation. So in 2015, I prepared. That exam pattern also changed. That is also a hindrance to me. Exam pattern several times it was changed. Initially, it was objective type, later subjective type, negative marks. A lot of changes happened in that pattern of exam. That pattern also stopped my preparation for some years. So in 2015, I seriously started, and for 6 months I took leave and dedicatedly studied. So after that, I got into the service, IRS. Any first option, anyone prefer first option is IAS, IPS. After that, IRS. So I opted. I did not get IAS, IPS. My third option is IRS. So I got into the IRS. After that, I went to training at the National Academy of Direct Taxes. After completion of training, 18 months training, I joined here in Shah. So if you work seriously, mainly the way how to prepare, the approach, if you know, then it is easy. It is a maximum 1 or 2 years. But the exam, that exam period itself, 3 stages, prelims, mains, interview, that entire period is a year-long preparation, year-long period. It is not a single exam, a single day of exam. We can't complete in at a single point of time. Exam itself, several stages. Prelims 1 day, mains 5 to 6 days. For continuous 5 to 6 days, we have to appear mains. It is a subjective type. And interview means we call it interview, but it is a personality test. And that we have for that we have to take mock interviews. A lot of coaching centers are there nowadays because of this Google. Lot of information there in online. Those days we don't know even Google also. 2004, 5. Nowadays a lot of material is available in online. Anyone can Google how to prepare civil service. You will get a lot of material, dump of material. So it is the somehow luck also should favor, because the success percentage rate is very less in this. Lot of many people appear, but they don't prepare seriously. Lakhs of people appear, but the serious candidates are very less. So if anyone prepare with correct approach, right approach in a right way, right direction, they will definitely succeed. Percentage, they see that success percentage is very less. They fear about the exam. They think that somehow it is a very difficult, ridiculous task. Not like that. It is easy, but if you have to be in the right way, if you are in the right approach, the requirement of UPSC. UPSC requires some suitable persons. It is not a specialization or not a technical aspect oriented exam. It is a general exam, general purpose. We have to be administrator.
Yes.
So in that way, we have to prepare. Exam is also general exam, not a in-depth knowledge testing exam. UPSC never tests in-depth knowledge, but overall view, broad perspective in all areas. Like a common sense. If you apply common sense, common knowledge, then you will definitely succeed. That is the issue. That we don't.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Krishna Rao. So for your valuable speech and your sharing your experiences. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Over to you, Deepti.
Now let us have some video bites of Dr. M. Chandrasekhar. He is a professor of veterinary clinical medicine, Tanuvas, and he is a renowned pet clinician in Chennai, and he is a proprietor of East Coast Pet Hospital, and he got so many awards, national and international level in nephrology. Let us play this video bite.
Dear friends, on this occasion of World Veterinary Day, there are certain statistical data I would like to share on behalf of Indian livestock populations. And we are the number one in the livestock populations. We are number one in the buffalo populations. We are second in the goat populations. And second largest poultry market in the world. Number 5 in the camel populations. And coming to the dog population, again we are number 1 in the world. And any study in the higher populations, definitely it will give a meaningful job. Since I am a canine practitioner for the past 25 years, I could see the growth rate of canine business increasing day by day. We started in a small place. Now the canine clinic converted to canine hospital. All the hospital equipped with ultrasound, X-ray, hematobiochemical machines, and blood gas analyzers. And we are able to provide ambulance service around the clock. We are able to provide veterinary service around the clock. And it is there in all.
Hello everyone, I'm Associate Professor Dr. Damlar Sanaceröz from Afyonkarahisar University, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Turkey, and Turkish Kyrgyz Manas University, Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. The World 2023 World Veterinary Day is celebrated by veterinarians, veterinary associations, and others who advocate for fairness and equity. This year's theme is promoting diversity, equity, and inclusiveness in the veterinary profession. Removing barriers and improving inclusiveness through diversity and equity in a diverse world needs a really special focus in all areas. As everybody knows what means diversity, diversity means accepting all differences among humans with respect to their gender, ethnicity, race, physical ability, and many other factors. It means respecting and recognizing everyone feeling safe, valued no matter the age, ethnicity, class, gender or religion, physical science, education level, personality traits or other differences. The focus is so important. I wish everyone the best World Veterinary Day and grand success from
హలో ఎవరీవన్, అందరికీ నమస్కారం. ముందుగా రెస్పెక్టెడ్ టీచర్స్ అండ్ ఆల్యుమ్ని అసోసియేషన్ మెంబర్స్, అలాగే మై ఫ్రెండ్స్ అండ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరికీ ఆన్ ద ఈవ్ ఆఫ్ వరల్డ్ వెటనరీ డే ముందుగా గ్రీటింగ్స్ తెలియజేసుకుంటాను. నా పేరు డాక్టర్ గోవి. నేను విజయనగరం జిల్లా బాడింగిలో వెటనరీ డాక్టర్గా వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాను. ప్రజెంట్ వెటనరీ అసిస్టెంట్ సర్జన్గా వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాను. నేను 2005 బ్యాచ్ గన్నవరం N.T.R C.V.Scలో అండర్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేసి 2010లో కంప్లీట్ చేశాను. 2010 రిలీవ్ అన్ని. అలాగే పీజీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యాక 3 ఇయర్స్ అంటే 3 బ్యాచెస్ అయినాక మా థర్డ్ బ్యాచ్ పీజీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ MSCలో. అలాగే ఎల్బిటి ఫస్ట్ పీజీ స్టూడెంట్ని. 2012లో ఫీల్డ్ వెటనరీయన్గా జాయిన్ అయ్యాను. ఏజెన్సీలో 3 ఇయర్స్ వెటనరీ అసిస్టెంట్ సర్జన్గా వర్క్ చేశాను. తర్వాత లైఫ్ స్టాక్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ టెక్నాలజీలో మేజర్ డిసిప్లిన్గా PhD తానువాస్లో మద్రాస్ వెటనరీ కాలేజీలో కంప్లీట్ చేశాను. గోల్డ్ మెడల్ కూడా వచ్చింది 2018లో. కంప్లీట్ అయినాక మళ్ళీ బ్యాక్ టు ద డిపార్ట్మెంట్. ఐ హావ్ జాయిన్డ్ ఇన్ ద బాడింగి present వర్కింగ్ ప్లేస్ విజయనగరం డిస్ట్రిక్ట్. యాజ్ ఏ ఫీల్డ్ వెటనరీయన్గా డైలీ మనకి చాలా ఛాలెంజెస్ ఉంటాయి. రెగ్యులర్గా వెటనరీ డిస్పెన్సరీలో అవుట్ పేషెంట్ కేసెస్, గైనకాలజీ, సర్జరీ, మెడిసిన్ కేసెస్, అలాగే మార్నింగ్ సెషన్, ఎస్పెషల్లీ మార్నింగ్ సెషన్ వెటనరీ డిస్పెన్సరీలో కేసెస్ కంప్లీట్ చేశాక ప్రజెంట్ గవర్నమెంట్ స్టేటస్లో రైతు భరోసా కేంద్రాలు ప్యాటర్న్లో ఫీల్డ్ విజిట్స్ ఉంటాయి. అక్కడ రెఫరల్ కేసెస్ ప్రధానంగా గైనకలాజికల్ అండ్ మెడిసిన్ కేసెస్ రెగ్యులర్ బేసిస్లో ఉంటాయి. అలాగే వీటితో పాటుగా ఆన్ కాల్ ఎమర్జెన్సీ కేసెస్ సమ్టైమ్స్ ఆడ్ అవర్స్లో అంటే మిడ్ నైట్లో కూడా మనకి కేసెస్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. లైక్ డిస్టోకియా, ప్రొలాప్స్ అని గైనకలాజికల్ బేస్డ్. అలాగే మెడిసిన్ కేసెస్ లైక్ టెంపనైటిస్, ఇలాంటివి మనకి ఎమర్జెన్సీ పాయిజనింగ్ కేసెస్ కూడా ఉంటాయి. సో వీటితో పాటుగా ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇన్సెమినేషన్ అంటే గైనకాలజికల్ చూసుకుంటే ప్రాపర్ టెక్నిక్స్ ఫాలో అవడంతో పాటుగా వాట్ విల్ లెర్న్ ఇన్ ద క్లినికల్స్. ఓకే, రెగ్యులర్ ఫాలోఅప్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్ఫెర్టిలిటీ కేసెస్ అట్ విడి లెవెల్ చేస్తే సక్సెస్ రేట్ ఎక్కువగా ఉండి, అలాగే మన కంట్రోల్లో ఉన్న విలేజెస్లో కూడా ఫెర్టిలిటీ క్యాంప్స్ కండక్ట్ చేసి మనం సక్సెస్ రేట్ని పెంచగలిగితే డెఫినెట్గా మంచి నేమ్ వస్తుంది. అలాగే మినీ డయాగ్నోసిస్ మనకి సెక్షన్ మన హాస్పిటల్లో ఉంటే వీ క్యాన్ డూ డంగ్ అండ్ బ్లడ్ శాంపిల్స్, వెట్ బ్లడ్ స్మియర్స్, స్టెయినింగ్, and so that rapidly we can diagnose the disease at VD level. Other than clinical, we have to do so many husbandry activities, like for example vehicle section development schemes implement చేయడం, అలాగే పశు కిసాన్ క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్స్ సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ స్కీమ్స్ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడం, యానిమల్స్ని గ్రౌండ్ చేయడం, ఇన్సూరెన్స్ చేయడం, అటెండింగ్ పోస్ట్ మార్టమ్స్, సబ్సిడైజ్డ్ సప్లై ఆఫ్ ఫీడ్ అండ్ ఫాడర్, అలాగే ఫాడర్ ప్రొడక్షన్ యాక్టివిటీని ప్రమోట్ చేయడం, అలాగే అవేర్నెస్ క్యాంప్స్ని కండక్ట్ చేయడం సీజనల్గా వచ్చే డిసీజెస్ మీద, అలాగే వెల్ఫేర్ స్కీమ్స్ మీద ఫార్మర్స్ని మోటివేట్ చేయడం, అలాగే కాఫ్ ర్యాలీస్, డిఫరెంట్ ట్రైనింగ్స్ని కండక్ట్ చేయడం, అలాగే అటెండ్ అవ్వడం, పశు విజ్ఞానం బట్టి కండక్ట్ చేసి వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఇంపార్ట్ సమ్ నాలెడ్జ్ టు ద పీపుల్, అదే ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఫార్మర్స్. అలాగే రెగ్యులర్గా స్టాఫ్ మీటింగ్స్ కండక్ట్ చేయడం, సీజనల్ వ్యాక్సినేషన్స్ని రెగ్యులర్గా చేయించడం ఫర్ ఆల్ స్పీసీస్ లైక్ HSBQ, FMM, PPR, ET, ఫౌల్ పాక్స్, లంపీ స్కిన్ డిసీజ్, RD, బ్లూ టంగ్, అలాగే కాఫ్ డివార్మింగ్, అలాగే షీప్ అండ్ గుడ్ డివార్మింగ్. So reporting of daily work done, whatever we do physically, we have to update online for all the technical data and work particulars. అలాగే అంబులెన్స్ ఇప్పుడు 1962 అంబులెన్స్ ఫాలోఅప్ చేయడం, ఇలా డిఫరెంట్ యాక్టివిటీస్ మనము క్లినికల్తో పాటు చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. యాజ్ పర్ మై వర్కింగ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ సో ఫార్, ఐ వుడ్ లైక్ టు సజెస్ట్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ UG especially, our college is the best place to learn and excel. There is no second doubt in that. Use library resource efficiently and practical theoretical classes dealt by our teachers, so that you can use it very efficiently and effectively, and make yourself time to read textbooks and prepare your own notes apart from the class notes. With our basic knowledge learned in clinical or paraclinical or animal sciences at BVSc level, we can do wonders at field. And with that, I can tell you again, Alumni N.T.R CV students are the best and leading veterinary practitioners in the field. For example, I can tell you, with the textbook knowledge, field application is always possible. I mean, I would like to tell one experience with lumpy skin disease. Lumpy skin disease first diagnose చేసి మా మండలం నుంచే స్టేట్లో ఫస్ట్ రిపోర్ట్ చేస్తాం lumpy skin disease-ని. I mean, a particular case, if we see, after experiencing a particular case, we should go back again to the textbook and acquire more knowledge on that so that we can dispose the case very efficiently after proper diagnosis. So for that, we need daily learning and updation of knowledge, working with commitment. Definitely will bring a very good name in the field. Wherever you are, I try to give your best. I wish you all success to the students of N.T.R. C.V.Sc. And I'm thankful to Alumni Association N.T.R. C.V.Sc, and especially thankful to Dr. Ivasanta, Assistant Professor, Veterinary Physiology Department, for giving me this opportunity.
So we have reached on to the next segment of our webinar. Almost this is the last talk. And our next speaker is Dr. Sairam Kumar. He is also an alumni of N.T.R. College of Veterinary Science. For the benefit of participants, let me introduce Dr. Sairam Kumar. He did his MVSc in Animal Nutrition and MBA Marketing and PG DFMT, that is PG Diploma in Feed Manufacturing Technology. And he currently works as a technical manager at Kemin Industries South Asia Private Limited. And his role is providing animal health and nutrition support to feed manufacturing and integration companies. And presently he is looking after South India and Sri Lanka regions of Kemin Industries. Over to you, Dr. Sairam Kumar.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I'm just sharing the screen. Can you just confirm? Can you please confirm, ma'am? I shared the screen.
Yeah, your screen is visible. Please carry on.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the brief introduction. So actually, I just want to thank this Alumni Association for conducting this kind of program. Why? Because when we are studying, we don't know much about these, how industry works and what are the different opportunities. Majority of the students don't have proper awareness. So I think with these kind of programs, with the help of Alumni Association, definitely students are going to benefit, and it will help them to select the different fields which they are interested in to excel in that industry. So here, now I am going to discuss brief on the prospects in animal nutrition and health sector. So here I'm going to cover the majority of the opportunities which we can get in animal nutrition as well as the animal health sector. It might be feed additives company, it might be like a health company, it might be a biologicals company, different companies are there. So in that, how we can get the opportunity for that, what we have to do some basic requirement for that. So I'm going to discuss here. So, but just before going through, before starting my presentation, so I just want to explain a simple thing which to select and to how you want, where you want to be after 20 years or 25 years of your career. So based on that, first you have to select which field you want to enter. Whether you can be an employee, you can be a business owner, or you can be a self-employed, or you can be a self-investor. So anything. So first, based on these your expertise and based on your interest, you can select any one of these. Whether you can be employed in any kind of organization, or you can start an entrepreneurship and you can be a business owner, And you can self-employed, like you can be a consultant, you can start your own consultancy, or you can be an investor. You can invest in like in a reputed organization, something like that. So first you should understand this basic, and when you are taking a decision, you have to think where you want to be after 25 years or 20 years of experience. So before going there, this is a basic, what are the different graduations we can do, and after that post-graduation, and different employments available, everyone knows it. But here I just want to highlight the post-graduation courses related with the industry. So if you want to come into the industry, industry means I'm just taking it's a simple term, but it's a very vast, like animal health sector and animal nutrition sector and biologicals and processing, everything will come into the industry. So this animal industry, if you take the major opportunities where you find with these four areas. One is production subjects. In production subjects, the majority of the opportunities, it will come with the animal nutrition, poultry science, dairy science, livestock production technology, livestock production management. And next to that, health. In health, you can consider pathology, microbiology, medicine, and gynecology. So medicine and gynecology, it will be mostly associated with the large animal and the small animal practice. And another thing is management subjects. So many of the people, they don't are much aware of this thing regarding the management subjects. So if you want to if you want to grow to a president or CEO level, like all the organization, they used to prefer this management background. Like even with the experience, they'll many people used to do these diploma programs and executive programs to gain the knowledge on the management. So, and if it comes for the management subjects, there are full-time subjects as well as the part-time. And full-time, like ours, if you relate with our industry, like veterinary sector, so you can do agribusiness management, food and agribusiness management, food technology management, and pharmaceutical management. Apart from this, if you want to diversify in the field after completing the graduation, you can choose multiple sector. You can go to any sector. For that, you can choose the general MBA. So, and if you want to go to the research level in biologicals or in R&D of nutrition and health companies, you can choose pathology, microbiology, biochemistry, and biotechnology. So many people don't aware about these particularly management colleges. So just briefly some of the management colleges. So I just differentiated it into agribusiness management in agriculture universities. So all these agriculture universities, they have the this program for the MBA agribusiness management. And next to this is, sorry, just. So next to this is production graduation, post-graduation diploma in management, which is PGDM, ABM. So if you see this, all these are reputed top colleges, top institutes in the India for these agribusiness management courses. First is IIM Ahmedabad. So like you have to this is the what we can say top program which in India you can get it. And manage National Institute of Agriculture Extension and Management. And IIM Lucknow is also offering the PGP ABM program. And IRMA, you can do PGP in rural management. So, and other institutes are National Institute of Agriculture Management, International Agri Business Management, NIAM, IABM, Institute of Agri Business Management, College of Agri Business Management, Pantnagar. So all these are the other colleges. So, and if you come for the pharmaceutical management, so pharmaceutical management is it's a kind of subject if you want to enter into pharmaceutical industry, whether it's a human or as well as the veterinary. You can like if you're doing this pharmaceutical management, so it will helpful for you to get into these for marketing sector in the pharmaceutical management. So these are the different institutes which are offering. And I forgot to mention here, one more is for technology management. Food technology management is offering by some of the private universities, as well as if you see the reputed government institutes like Indian Institute of Plantation Management, they're offering the food technology management. So, and another is if you want to diversify, you always graduation is the basic program. So after that, if you want to be in agri sector, you can do the followed post graduation programs. But if you want to diversify, you can do the regular MBA, and you can choose the fields like marketing, finance, government management, and any like human resource management, these kind of things. So, but for getting to this different colleges, what are the basic entrance tests we have to crack is CAT, Common Admission Test, MAT, SAT, CMAT. Next, all these are GMAT. All these are basic entrance exams to get into these institutions. So, and if you see the scope of MBA, PGDM, so like you can get into marketing, you can get into project management, like a development of product. You have to maintain the life cycle of the product in organizations like feed additives as well as the health and biologicals. So like you have to work in association with the R&D technical, and you have to make run the clinical trials, and you have to start like developing a product and maintain the life cycle of the product. If the life cycle of the product is getting ended, you can start developing or upgrading the product. These kind of things will associated with the project management and consultancy and marketing research and business development. Next is production management, supply chain management, international marketing, corporate strategy, entrepreneurship. All these things you can do if you are completing this MBA or PGDM course. So, and if it comes for the next diploma courses, so post-graduation diploma in business management, it's a kind of diploma just if you want, if you have interest in entrepreneurship kind of thing, that will help you. And you can do in bioinformatics, you can do in laboratory diagnosis. Some of the courses are offering by Tamwas and some of the courses offering by Kerala Veterinary University. So depend on your expertise and where you are working. Like if you are working in a field, so you can select the course which is helpful for you, like a veterinary laboratory diagnosis, companion animal practice. And if you're working in a dairy sector, you can select a dairy processing and quality system. So I'm working with a feed industry. So I've done a course in feed manufacturing technology. So it will help you to improve your knowledge and like to get expertise on the particular subject, and which will help for your growth also in your career. So like we discussed what you have to do like to get into the sector. But after if you see what are the different opportunities available in the industry, so like it's a various multiple opportunities are available in industry. But thing is how you want to majority of the people they used to call me and they used to ask, sir, if you are doing which post-graduation subject, we can get a better opportunity. It's nothing like that. Depend on industry, what you are selecting. Like if you want to get into a feed industry, if you want to get into a biological industry, or if you want to get into a health industry. So depend on that, you have to select the subject. It's not like which industry, like where for better job, what I have to do. So depend on your interest and area of interest and where you want to pursue a career. Based on that, you can select the course. And I give just a brief what are the different employment opportunities available with the industry. So, but before that, you just have to understand, like in private sector, what are the different opportunities you have. So clinical practice, everyone knows. Animal production also everyone knows. Research and development, and marketing, diagnostic laboratories, processing industry, quality control side, especially if you're doing subjects like microbiology, and it will help in the getting jobs in quality control in biologicals. And along with that, if you're doing nutrition like subjects, you can get a quality control job in additive feed industry sector. And automation industry. Automation industry is like a completely different industry. Like it will come with the processing. So these automation industries, it will like you will get the opportunities with the expertise where after some experience area of your working, you will get the opportunities in automation industry. So, and if you see the role of veterinarians, So like if in private sector, if you see, one is a direct and another is a indirect. So direct means where you are working directly with the by handling the animals or birds or anything. So which are breeder operations, broiler operations, hatchery operations, nutritionist, health specialist, laboratory specialist, quality control, R&D, processing industry. All these are where you are handling the animals or birds directly. Whereas indirect, so this is an allied sector where you get the opportunities from companies like industry like biologicals. Biologicals means vaccines and feed additives, like different maybe like nutritional feed additives or animal growth related feed additives, specialized products, and farm automation specialist, institution business. All these things are indirect opportunities. So if you see veterinarians in the operations, like in different level, so I'll just like I have mostly I'm covering here the poultry industry, because poultry is an organized industry, whereas ruminant and swine, these are still not yet organized. But whereas dairy, again, dairy, if you go to the dairy industry, it is a well organized industry. So if we come into the operations, we can get into the like management as a manager for the management for breeders, broilers, layers. And if you're having a genetics expertise, you can get into the genetics operation to for the different levels of pure lines, grandparents, and GGPs, this kind of thing. So involving the day-to-day operations and in pure lines, like mostly genetic breeding is associated with the breeding and monitoring the hatchery operations. So these are the different operations you can get into. So here I'm just giving the brief about the poultry industry. So what are the major different broiler breeding companies like in the world? So if you see major, these are the three companies: Aviation, Coop, and Hubbard. So Aviation having the Ross, Outbreaker, Indian River, and one more is the Neck and Neck. These breeds are with the Aviation group. And another is the Coop. These Vencop chicken, like they started to get the Coop pure lines, and they developed the Vencop. And next is the Hubbard. In Hubbard Classic, Hubbard Flex, Hubbard 15. These are the different breeds which are available for the broiler. And if you see Indian, different integration companies and different industry people, they used to handle different breeds. If you see Vencop is owned by the and Outbreaker, SKM is running Outbreaker as well as the Ross. They have the two breeds. So here I mentioned which are most renowned companies. Like what you can say, they are the industry leaders. That's why I mentioned only particular these. It's not like only these people have. If you take the industry, the total industry, if you take 80% of the potential is in hands of just some 10 to 15 people only. So these people are the major players. And Sugna, IB Group, and Amrut, they have the Ross. Amrut presented, they have discontinued. And Jaffa is having the Indian River. And Sugna having both Ross as well as F15, and now they developed their own breed also. And Skylar Group is having a Hubbard. And if you see the different layer breeds available in India, mostly it will be BV300, which is a breed of Venkateshwara hatcheries, and Bovans is handling by Skylark, Highland handling by Srinivasa hatcheries. Loman used to Sugna Group used to handle the Loman, but now they've discontinued. This Novagen is a very they are operating directly, and the percentage is very less in Indian market. So, and if you see the opportunities veterinarian as a nutritionist, so the basic thing, like basic qualification to get into this job is a post-graduation program in nutritionist, like M.V.Sc nutrition. They used to prefer that is the basic qualification. And if you have PhD, that is preferable. So like here, the major thing is you have to, the major role is you have to look after the raw material procurement, raw material quality control, and the selection of the raw materials to reduce the feed cost, and usage of latest development in field and poultry nutrition. You have to provide these least cost formulation. And along with the nutrition, you should have thorough knowledge about the field meal technology. That is the reason why I have done this diploma course in field manufacturing technology. The thing is, out of the feed formulation you are giving, it accounts only some 60% of the efficiency of the feed, whereas 40% is lies with this milling technology. So especially when you are using the pellets kind of thing, so you should have thorough knowledge about this feed mill technology, which will help you to improve the formulation efficiency. So, and for the least cost formulation, we used to follow the different softwares available in the market, like Brill, next Ecomings, kind of different kinds of softwares are available. So we'll take the help of the software to reduce the least cost formulation. So why? Because if you see the feed industry, the major cost is accounts for the feed manufacturing. It's almost 60% in layer business and 70% in broiler business. So that's why, like if you're saving at least 1 rupee in the feed cost for the manufacturer who are producing in tons, 1,000 tons or 10,000 tons, and few people are producing 1 lakh tons above. So for them, it's a very highly economical value. So that's why, based on this market situation and the demand, availability of raw materials, we used to select the best raw materials, and we used to provide the least cost formulation. And veterinarians as a health specialist. So health specialist means major thing is related with what I can say, solving the troubleshooting the problems of performance, troubleshooting problems of diseases, all these kind of things. So based on we used to do postmortem services by doing these diagnosis, and if we like sometimes I'll just tell my experience. So like whenever there is a problem with some integrator or some broiler farmer, so we used to visit the farm. We used to do the diagnosis, postmortem diagnosis. So if we're able to find the diagnosis there itself, based on that we will provide the solution. And further, like if you want to confirm the disease, especially viral diseases, we'll collect the samples. We used to collect on FDA cards. We used to collect the organ samples, and we do the PCR analysis, and we'll confirm this by viral isolation. For this, we used to approach some colleges like Namakkal Veterinary College. They have in the facility. They'll do these lab services, and there are some private organization where we'll send the samples for the confirmation of the disease. And after confirming the disease and further thing, we used to do the serotyping also. So the serotyping means like if you take the example of IBH virus, there are different serotypes prevalence in the market, like serotype 1, serotype 4, serotype 10, serotype 11, serotype 8. These kind of different types of serotypes are there and associated with the different lesions. So based on this serotype, we used to select the vaccine, and we used to prescribe that vaccine to the what I can say, feed manufacturer or integrator. We used to support in that way. And along with that, we one more thing what we used to do is we used to do the intestinal health services. So like and if it comes for the poultry, especially intestinal health is very most important thing. So that's why we once in a month or once in 2 months, depending on the requirement of the integrator, we used to do the intestinal health scoring. We can say it as a lesion scoring, where we do the coccidial scoring, bacterial enteritis scoring, and necrotic enteritis scoring. Depending on these, we'll provide the anticoccidial schedules, AGP schedules, and what are different depend on this requirement. We used to suggest the companies. And one more thing is most important thing, suggesting the prevention and control measures. So if you see that in particular seasons, there will be onset of some diseases. So for particular the time, we used to provide some prevention and control protocols and measures at a different level, like breeders, for hatcheries and for commercial broilers. And based on that, they'll take the precautionary actions, and which will help them to reduce the mortality or prevent the incidence of that viral contamination. And next is formulating the vaccination and hygiene program and applying biosecurity procedures. These are the different areas where health specialists can work. Like for these health, mostly they used to prefer pathologists and microbiologists. But here, depend on expertise. I'm basically I'm a nutritionist, but from the beginning of my career, I'm handling both health as well as the nutrition. So depending on requirement, I used to get I used to attend some workshops. I used to attend some programs, worldwide seminars. So which will help me to gain knowledge in the health as well as the nutrition. So if you want to excel in this field, like you should have thorough knowledge about, you should have basic knowledge about all these. If it's not like if you're doing a nutrition, you have to stick with the nutrition only. If you're doing any health subject, you have to stick with the health subject only. It's not like that. So depend, like if you want to excel, you should have the basic knowledge about all the subjects. So and veterinarians in laboratory, if you see, as I told, like some private labs, they are running the facilities for the sero monitoring, identifying and isolation of the poultry and any other animal pathogens, strain identification and serotyping, hygiene monitoring, histopathology, all these things used to there. There, these people who has done microbiology as well as the pathology, they're having the major opportunities. And veterinarians in quality control. So in quality control, like mostly it will be milk and meat processing inspection. So we used to do residual analysis, microbiological analysis, routine hygiene monitoring involving branding, all these kind of regulation authorities we have to involve. For these, there is no need of any post graduation. But if you're having a post graduation in livestock production technology and veterinary public health, it might be helpful. But a BVC degree is enough to get into this quality control sector, especially in the milk and meat processing. So, and veterinarians in research and development. So, like research and developments, we used to work on the formulating the what I can say, any new composition, like any minerals or vitamins or any enzymes, different kinds of varieties. We used to make the formulation, and based on that, we used to monitor the animal trials. And so, with this, based on the outcome, whether we'll go for a further development of product or we have to change any product. So depend on that, we will take the decisions and the analysis for the different levels, quality control, quality assurance, and you have to like it should be very economical. All these analyses we used to follow, and based on the results, we have to give the interpretation and development of the new products. We can give the new ideas. All these things it will associate with the research and development. So next, veterinarians in biologicals. So major role is development of vaccines. You can work if you're having expertise in the microbiology, particularly like virology kind of subjects or biotechnology subjects with PhDs and postdocs. It will help you to get this level for the development of vaccines and quality control, formulating poultry trials, zero monitoring, technical services, business strategy, all these things. Is to have, these are the different vaccine companies which are having the major share, like Globion, Indovax, Merial, Ester, MSD, Siva, Ventry, Puringer. All these are the major biological companies where you will get the opportunity like in R&D field as well as the technical like people who working on the field. We have the opportunities. And veterinarians in feed additives company, the major role is like quality control and formulation services as well as technical services, which I am working. And there is a marketing sector is there. In the marketing, before I discussed about these management subject like MBA, people who having the experience like the basic qualification, they can get into the marketing. And people with high just field experience also, they'll get the opportunities in the marketing, depend on their interest, formulation of the products, and we will monitor the trials at R&D level as well as the commercial level. Like once if you develop any product, we'll do alpha trials and beta trials. So once we first will do the R&D trials, followed by we will do the trials at commercial level at the commercial forms to generate the data and to study the product in detail. So on development of business strategies, all these things, different major companies. There are so many companies. I just mentioned a few, like Camille, which I'm working, and DSM, Maltec, and Novo. So these are the different companies. So and if you see in veterinarians and pharma companies, so opportunities are same. If you go to biologicals, if you go to animal nutrition companies or health companies or pharma companies, the basic thing is once if you have proper R&D knowledge, you can get into development of the product. And if you're having a management degree, you can get into the marketing and the product management. And if you're having expertise in particular subjects like nutritional health subjects, you can get into technical services. So, and everywhere you can work with the formulation of the products and trials. That is a common job. So in automation companies, if you see, these are the different automation companies. Big Dutchman is the most renowned company, and Google, Henry, so many companies are there. So in these companies, like you have to monitor the technical services, like when they are using the particulars, like environmental control sheds of a particular thing or processing industry. So we have to monitor how the equipment is affecting on the performance of the bird and outcome of different traits. So all these things we used to monitor. So like all these are whatever I've discussed so far, all these are opportunities which we can get into private industry. But the one more option is there, which is an entrepreneur. So in an entrepreneurship, there are so many things. If you want to get into entrepreneurship in animal health and nutrition sector, you can start a feed mill on your own. You can start a feed additives, biologicals, or injectable company, and you can start like farm health products. You can get into farm health products industry, which is having disinfectants and water supplements. For this, the basic knowledge what you need to have is you should have proper expertise on the formulation of the products. If you have that expertise, you can get the raw material from different sources. You just make a composition and brand it and can sell it. And you can start a layer or broiler farm or integration companies. You can start a processing industries like milk and meat. And you can start any value added products also. And you can get into supply chain. So I'll just brief you one like a success story of some 1 or 2 examples. I'll just give you if we come for the entrepreneurship. So in entrepreneurship, it's just an idea. So like we used to get ideas multiple times, but thing is how you are implementing the idea. So like me and my friends, when we are doing this undergraduation, so at that time we used to think on why can't we supply meat to the home? Like now it's an Indian is a typical wet market. There is no processing. Processing is very less. Now also it's still less than 5%. So that time we used to get an idea. It's long back, I can say some 11 or 12 years back when we were doing a graduation. So, but later if you see, 5 or 6 years back, Licious has started, and now they become a billionaire company. It's a unicorn now. They crossed more than 10,000 crores turnover. So thing is like if getting idea, many people used to get the idea, but how you are implementing it, how you are pursuing it, that is the most important thing. So all this sector, anything you can start. And I can give one more example. One of my friend, he's from Bangalore Veterinary College. So after it's completely different. He has done a master's in genetics. He's running a rendering industry. So like with interest, and he struggled a lot. He started, but now he got settled. So he became a successful entrepreneur. So it sounds like whatever the industry you are interested in, you just try to understand it, gain some knowledge related with them, and you can get into the industry. You can start your own. Like if you see there is a huge opportunity for the processing, because like especially if you take the story of Milky Mist. So Milky Mist is a company. They don't have any dairy farms. They don't. They are not a cooperative thing. So they used to procure the milk, and though they don't sell the milk, all the products what they are selling is the value-added products, like different kinds of sweets, yogurt, curd, these kind of different value-added products. Paneer. They are the leading manufacturer in paneer. They have the biggest paneer industry. Still, like if you see, paneer is a basic food product of North India. That major production is handling by South Indian company, which is based at south part of Tamil Nadu. So Bilchemist, they think different. When they are coming to processing, they are not thinking about the milk, supplying the milk. They completely concentrated on the value-added product. So it will be like the idea what you have, how you are thinking different, and how you are pursuing it. These are like if you want to get to an entrepreneur, these things are very important. So, but when you are getting into any industry, you should have a basic knowledge about that. So then only you have to get into it. So, and how industry is helping the world is especially if you see the malnutrition. So after the industrialization of these poultry and milk, this so much malnutrition we. So how means just you can see this. Sorry, you can see this chart. If you calculate these protein cost of different available materials, so you can see chicken and egg are the most economical and is cheaper protein. So it will help in controlling the malnutrition and but price will vary depending on the market situation and availability. And but still these are the cheapest available protein sources. So with this, I'm just closing my presentation. So it's a very short time to discuss completely about the industry. But still, I just covered it in a brief. So if you're having any doubts, you can contact me anytime. But here I just want to give some final input for these graduates. So people used to call me. They'll ask first question. They'll ask if you want to get into private sector, what post graduation we have to do. Because that's completely related with your interest. And second thing is they'll ask about the salary. So we are not working in an IT sector. We are working in a service sector. So obviously at the initial periods, getting a very high salaries is a difficult job, but depend on your how you are excelling in the field and how you are applying your knowledge based on these things, you can you can grow very fast in the industry. If you're having enough talent and hard work, you can grow very fast. But initial stages of the career, uh, definitely don't expect salaries like a software people, because the industry what we are working is a service industry. And one more thing is here we have to learn so many things. These companies invest so much of money for our development. They'll give so much of trainings and so many things to develop the employees. So initially, please don't expect much. But once if you get into industry, if you have proper expertise, definitely you can excel like that. And one more important thing, what I'll tell you is many people they used to call and I'll ask them how many years you want to work and you want to pursue that. They'll tell when I get the government job, I'll get out. It not work like that. See, all these industry, they're spending so much of money for your development. So if you are losing employees in 6 months or 1 year, they used to lose so much money. And thing is, depend on this. If you want to pursue the career long term, then only you can come into it, and we can support you at any time. We'll be there, and you can provide the guidance. So I wish all the best for everyone who want to now the availability of the jobs are very less, so everyone can by these presentations of whatever you have seen today, you can have some fair knowledge about how industry works and what are the different opportunities available for you. Don't get stick to only government job. There are so much opportunities available for veterinarians outside, and I wish you everyone all the best for your future endeavors. And I thank Alumni Association as well as the college professors and everyone to providing this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, you can just ask.
Thank you, Dr. Sairam. If the participants are having any queries, please post it in the chat box. Anyway, we'll let you know, Dr. Sairam, if any of our participants or students are having any queries, we'll share your email with them.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for enlightening our participants on how to pursue a career and the different opportunities available in the field and in the private sector. And and you have also shared many of the success stories. And mostly our students will take this as a motivational talk. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Saira.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
So there are a few more video bites from our alumni who has sent us wishes regarding this World Veterinary Day. Dr. Tomar, please share those video messages.
To the webinar conducted by N.T.R. College of Veterinary Sciences, Gannavaram, along with N.T.R. College of Veterinary Science Alumni Association during the occasion of World Veterinary Day 2023 celebrations. World Veterinary Day is a yearly celebration held on the last Saturday in April to raise awareness about veterinarians and their dedication to animal health, welfare and public health. People celebrate the occasion in various ways. Some do animal charity, participate in an event or simply enjoy time with pets. It is an occasion to honor and recognize veterinarians' tireless efforts and commitment to safeguarding the health and well-being of both animals and people. The theme for World Veterinary Day 2023 is promoting diversity, equity and inclusiveness in the veterinary profession. Veterinary medicine is not only about treating sick animals, it is also about advancing animal and human health, protecting the environment, ensuring food safety and contributing to society in diverse ways. Today, I would like to share with you some of the highlights of our field and how we can continue to make a difference in the world. One of the most exciting aspects of veterinary medicine is the technological advancements that enable us to diagnose, treat and prevent diseases in animals more effectively and efficiently. These technologies not only improve the quality of life of animals but also reduce the cost and risk of animal health care. They also open new possibilities for research and education that can benefit both animals and humans. Another important aspect of veterinary medicine is the role of veterinarians in society and its impact. Veterinarians are essential health professionals who work in various sectors and settings such as research and education, livestock farms, food safety, environment and public health. These roles show how veterinarians contribute immensely to society by improving animal and human health, food security, economic development, social welfare and global security. Finally, I would like to emphasize the importance of veterinary medicine in developing countries. Veterinary medicine is vital for addressing some of the most pressing challenges faced by these countries such as poverty, hunger, disease. In conclusion, I would like to say that veterinary medicine is a noble and rewarding profession that has a significant impact on the world. We have the privilege and responsibility of caring of animals and people, and we have the opportunity and challenge of advancing our field with new technologies and knowledge. On this Veterinary Day, I would like to congratulate all of you for your dedication and achievements, and I would like to encourage you to continue your work with passion and excellence. Happy Veterinary Day to all of you. Thank you.
We have one more video bite from the Director of National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, Dr. Tharu Sharma.
Hello everyone. Greetings from National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, and congratulations to one and all for this very important day, the World Veterinary Day, which is always celebrated on the last Saturday of April. This year, the theme which has been decided is so very apt. Globally, we understand the promoting diversity, equity, and the inclusiveness in the veterinary profession. Well, we all know last couple of years, more than 25 years, our country is number one in milk production. I won't go in a detail of the data about the egg production, meat production, and other related stuff. However, let's just be strictly talking only about the milk. Globally, we are giving and producing and taking a burden of 1/4 of it. It is not only those veterinarians who are busy in academics and research, but those very important people who are reaching through their expertise and their wisdom to the end user till the end place of a particular state, particular village, taluka. That is very important. And all the upstream technologies with which today's animal veterinary science is armed with is equally important. Well, friends, it was right from 2001 when the term and the celebration of this day was coined and started. It is a journey of more than 2 decades with the celebrations, and it's becoming very obvious, very visible, and the contributions which are undoubtedly laudable, contributions of the veterinarians, is become a very clear globally. One more theme, and the happiness which is linked with today's celebration is that the Veterinary Council of India is celebrating it at Vigyan Bhavan, and the inauguration of the site which will be a kind of place would be there. Importance of this profession became much more clear and apt, especially during the pandemic times. That was a time when everybody could really realize the very importance of animals and therefore of the animal scientists and veterinarians. And that preparedness and the way to deal with the pandemic has led to generate those programs like one important One Health. Our institution also has a One Health program, DBT's One Health program. As a coordinator, I like to let you know about this program, what exactly is the program is and why it is important, and particularly in the context of today's celebrations. This very program as a preparedness, if we don't know what exactly is a pattern of surveillance and prevalence of those diseases which are existing or those which are emerging or re-emerging, we will not be able to address it. Thereby, the importance of this very program. Well, as it is rightly said, none of the program of such importance are ever completed without a strong team across the professionals. It includes everybody, the medicos, the veterinarians, the basic biologists, biomedical scientists, as well as the wildlife specialist. And the program which we run at NIAB, which started in 2021, has all of it. I am really happy, and I thank the university, the college, and the scientists in particular, having given me chance to be with you to share the happiness of this day and convey my best regards, good wishes, and the pledge to keep this profession always with a high holding flag in everyone's heart. Let's work towards the well-being of the animals so that national prosperity continues with the inputs of this important species on the earth. Once again, congratulations and best wishes for
Respected teachers, dear students, and alumni of N.T.R. College of Veterinary Sciences, I wish you all a happy World Veterinary Day. I am Satyanarayana Achanta, an alumnus of 2000 batch from our college. Currently, I am working at the Duke University School of Medicine in the United States as an assistant professor in the Department of Anesthesiology. More than celebrations, today is the day to recommit ourselves to the veterinary profession. I strongly believe that we make difference in the lives of all creatures, either directly or indirectly. So I am very proud of being a veterinarian and an alumnus of N.T.R. College of Veterinary Sciences. Thank you and best wishes to you all.
Please unmute yourself, ma'am.
So we had 5 wonderful speakers from 5 different fields. The first speaker is Dr. Naveen Chandra. He spoke on building a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive veterinary medicine, lessons from human health. And the second speaker is Dr. Venkatkiran Siddineni. He is an associate veterinarian in Houston, Texas. He spoke on the introduction to Educational Commission for Foreign Veterinary Graduates. And after him, Dr. Dr. Deepthi Chadalawada, spoke on laboratory animal medicine career and prospective, a brief overview. She is an attending veterinarian and facility veterinarian at National Institute of Health Sciences. And the last speaker is Dr. Sairam Kumar. He is a technical manager at Kemin Animal Nutrition and Health South Asia. He spoke on the prospects in animal health and nutrition industry. And apart from these, we have several video messages from eminent scientists and veterinarians around the globe wishing us World Veterinary Day for all the veterinarians, faculty, and the students. So now I request Dr. Naveen Swarup to propose vote of thanks.
So very good afternoon to you all. It's a wonderful celebrations here. Normally we don't hear, but we treat our animals because they are dumb. Such a noblest profession. We are serving dumb animals and such a noblest profession. So on this event on World Veterinary Day, so I would like to thank the Venkateshwar Veterinary University for giving N.T.R. C.V.Sc Alumni Association to celebrate World Veterinary Day 2023 and this webinar. At the same time, I thank Associate Dean, Dr. B. Sridevi Madam, for giving or letting us to organize this webinar. And I also thank Dr. Kishore sir for introducing outstanding veterinarians in diverse fields. I also thank the faculty, the senior professors and other faculty members of the college for joining them. I also thank the speakers, especially Dr. Naveen Kondru, Dr. Venkatkiran Siddineni, Dr. Deepthi Chadalawada, Dr. Sichipalli Krishnarao, IAS, Dr. Sairam Kumar from Kemin. So I also thank all the people who sent the messages and wishes in the form of videos. And finally, I would like to thank all the participants who have joined and made this event a success. Thank you so much.